she in the vehicle?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address. And now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Hey guys, to Adam, tell him that was StreamYard's fault, wasn't it?
It was StreamYard's fault. Every time we would try to type that, it wouldn't let us. So
yeah, it kept saying, what did it say? Something like you got an
error on YouTube has occurred.
Yeah.
Please try again. Wait a minute and try again.
So I'm not gonna lie, for a second there, I raced to my dashboard and I'm like, do I have a community strike or something? I was like, what's going on? And then I asked Adam to test it and it did the same thing to him. Now, if you guys could just go over to Steffa's live and just tell her to, like, you know, okay, Steffa, it's time to end the live already. You've been on enough. It's our turn now. Yeah. So that was really nice. Steffa, you guys, I think she's still going actually. So like I said, just haul ass over there, go over there, tell her to get off. And she was doing a live with Dr. or D, was it D? And oh shoot, I can't. That is just as fast as it's in my head. It's gone. Lou and D, I think it was. No, Lee. No, whatever. My bad. Let me just go take a look because now it's bugging me. Let's go. Let's go see. Are you still on the live stuff? Oh, yep, she's still going. Yeah, Nurse D and Mr. Lou. That's it. Okay, we're back. Nice. We're back. Now let's say some hellos. Hey guys, it's Friday. I always get lost in my days. Yeah, and I have to just remember that it was Friday. And I said to my husband, I was like, it's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the next couple of days off.
For everyone in the US, it's a nice long holiday weekend.
Right. Ours was last week over here in Canada. Ours was the May long weekend. And yeah, and now it's your guys' turn. That's right.
That's right. So I hope everyone has a happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So sorry, yours is Memorial Day, and what does your Memorial Day stand for? Is that the remembrance of the veterans?
It is the remembrance of those that have been, lost.
Yeah. Okay. So right. That's right.
I think it does have to do with fallen veterans.
Okay. So you had to think about that?
Well, see, I used to think that it was to like, to remember anyone that's passed. And so like when I was a kid, we would actually on Memorial Day, we would go to the cemeteries and we would put flowers on all the graves of all of our family, whether they were military or not. So I don't know if officially it's supposed to be only military, but in my family, we used it as a day to remember anyone that was lost.
Yeah. our May long weekend is about the Queen,
Okay.
but Remembrance Day in November is our day to, that would be our day, yeah, Remembrance Day. So yeah, those ones are quite off of different times, months there, aren't they? So yeah, okay. I mean, Memorial Day kind of to me went without saying that, so I was like, that probably must be to do with your guys' veterans on that day, memorializing them. Like I said, where for me it was always like that song that I'll never forget because we always had to sing it. It was called "Where Have All the Flowers Gone?" Where have all the flowers gone? Like that. Do you know that one? Yeah. So that song always sticks in my head all the time.
Yeah. I was going to use that for a video once, but I couldn't.
Yeah, sucks, right? I caught a quick message from Lacey. Lacey, there's no sucking up now. You've already shown who you love more. I'm thinking the word was hot. I agree, Lacey. But Adam's hotter apparently, so I'll take the hot. Thank you. Adam, you can be hotter and hottest. Oh, which reminds me, Adam, there's a video, there's this person, or there's this, we'll call it an it. Okay, we're going to call it an it for now. And I think that this person looks like it could be a relative of yours. But I'm not going to show that video yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it's aquatic. I'll just say that. This thing is aquatic. But I was like, who does that look like? Where? This is where I really, truly think that.
Oh, Sonny.
Yeah.
Newsflash. AJ Miller wants to tell you something.
Oh, do we have AJ? Oh, I love the fact that he loves to give me attention. This channel. AJ, where is this one? Oh, AJ, thank you for that wonderful insight. Can you also go tell TCG that Daniel Pearson wasn't the bridge guy? And please go tell all those other channels too. But thank you so much for your time. Are you ready to get the big toe? Oh, there's Steffa. Steffa, you're just in time. Hey, Steffa. Steffa, one second there, girlie. You're just in time. AJ Miller, we're just going to give you a fine farewell. Thank you so much. Don't forget to go create another account. You only got 45 minutes. Unless, of course, you got 2 in here. Then that's awesome. But let's block that one. There we go. That was beautiful.
He's my first troll. He came to my channel today. He's my first troll.
I heard you say something like that, but I didn't even know where it was because, like I said, I didn't get in there till like 5:30. And I remember you reading something about, the butt or something like that. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Steffa.
Very nice.
You're going places, Steffa.
I really got my first troll. Good day.
Well, let's just do quickly some shout outs quickly. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
I told people as we started this live, I was like, go over to Steffa's channel and tell her to cut it out. Knock it off. Get off the live. Get off the live. Come over here. So anyways, let's just quickly go back. And I seen a comment from Shelly. Shelly, what the heck is up with that? I seen it, Shelly. This one, Shelly. Curse. Shelly, repent. Go to the naughty corner.
Who's Daniel?
Daniel from the Drunk Turkey Show, But I like Daniel, but he seems to always take over. But that does get irritating, at least for me. Yeah. We love Daniel. You're just going to have to put up with that, Shelly. Right, CD? Actually, I really miss CD. Really miss CD. I know he's busy and stuff, but anyways, hey, Shelly. Hey, Jess. How are you? Virgo, how are you? Thank you to Mustang, if she's in the house. Thank you to Mustang for the 5 coffees that she bought yesterday on that coffee app. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mustang. Mm-hmm. Peachy. Okay. We said Virgo. They're not
I'll be right back. I got a smoke detector that's battery beeping. I'll be right back.
Oh, Okay, right. That's just because I'm hot, right, Steffa? Or because we're hot, I guess.
You're hot.
So once you came in, that's when it went off. That's what's going on here. Okay, that's what's happening. Anyways, Tom, if I was ever this late to a live chat, my adoring fans would be put out an Amber Alert. Yeah, no one cares about me that much
I
that
do.
they would put out. Thank you, Steffa. I
You're
know.
welcome.
Thank you. It would be like a worldwide alert more for me, not just an Amber Alert, though, right? In your world, in my world. Yeah. Okay. So, without a recliner. Definitely without a recliner, though. Actually, no, I love recliners. In fact,
I
you know,
wish
I
I
have
was on right now.
right. I know the buttocks gets quite sore, doesn't it?
Yes.
Cecil's in the house. I'm gonna go back to Tom and in just a second. You want a refund? Oh wait, I'm not a member. Oh wait, no, you're not. Just like I'm not a member of yours either. No, but there's still a lot of love there. Yeah. Hi CJK, how are you? I said Jess. Oh hey Anna, how are you? The burn after reading letter would be a darn stupid thing to write after a crime. We're gonna get into that one in a bit there for sure, Anna. Hi Rose, how are you? Bismo. Hey Bismo, where's your onion rings, dude? There's a little fluffy white dog in there. Yeah, it must be the one. I think that one's from the Nicola Bully case. Thank you, veterans. Absolutely. Callie's in the house. TGIF. I think Mom's an enabler. Oh, where's Steffa go? And literally gave her. Oh, there she. And literally gave her spawn an excuse to KILL. Stefan, to remember missing Children's Day. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's the hot message. Let's just Tom, just feel free to look at that one for a moment. You always, yeah. Oh, and then she says hi, Char. Oh, I said Char. Cher in the house? Hi, Cher. I see Ginger. There's Ray Jones. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Beast, how are you? And okay, I think, did I say Lacey? I already said Lacey. Sunny, I'm always in the corner of, right? I remember once when I was younger, and I think I was about like 18 or 19, and I was back home at my mom's house, and I kept using the F-bomb. And my brother, who's famous for that word, says, "Could you stop saying the F word, please? There's kids around here." And I was like, oh, yeah, because it was like just coming out of my mouth. Like, it was like the word and the. But you just said "fa," right? Like fa la 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 la. That's obviously what I was trying to say. Disappeared for some reason, so I uploaded my pop. Okay. On my part. Gotcha. Okay, so you guys, Steffa should be back. Did somebody kidnap Steffa? Yeah. So in this live, we're going to talk about the letter, the burn after reading letter in the Gabby Petito case. Not sure. Did anyone say that they don't follow it? Let me just look at the survey. Where did it go? I think I have to go back into my live. Let me see. Oh, I can hear my husband. I got to go back into the live for a second here. Why am I singing Christmas carols? Hey, McDougall-Tree. Oh, my computer is slow or something. Seriously, come on, computer. Let's do this. We can do this. Go to the live. Okay, and let's go in here. What was I doing? I actually totally forget what I was just doing. You guys, what was I just talking about, actually? I literally forget why I was going over to the live stream. I had to go over there for some reason. I can't even remember. Wow, what the heck was I? Hi, Diana. What was I just talking about? Oh, thank you. Tom, thank God you got a brain. Because honestly, I can't remember when it's. Thank you, Tom, for paying attention. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that's right. Thank you so much. Okay, so far we have 21% saying before, 50% saying after, 11% saying unsure, and 18% saying that they don't follow the case. Adam, you good? No fire?
No, it was the battery, and it's like, when you hear it beep, and so I went to find it, and then it was like you don't know which one it is until you hear it beep again.
Feel it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, gotcha. My husband. Okay. I don't know how many times these people do freaking fire alarm tests in these apartments. Seems like all the time. As soon as they come in, they put in a new one. And every time, right after, my husband takes it on out. And he doesn't just take it out. He takes the hammer, gives it a whack, and he can never remember where it is. And so they always, every time they come to do the alarm check, they always have to put a new one in each and every time because that thing is sensitive, right? It just honestly, it just goes off at the smallest thing. So I know it's the wrong thing to do, but whatever. Are you guys getting errors in there too with YouTube?
Yeah, must be a YouTube thing tonight because I was wondering if it was just us going through StreamYard, but apparently it's just a little YouTube glitch.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just ask you good. Stuff had dropped off there, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Oh, okay, guys. Okay. So just tell me if you think that in the aquatic world that this fish looks like Adam similarly. Are you ready?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. Let's just take a little look-see. This is I'm not even going to lie, Adam. This is a WTF moment. Okay? WTF moment. What's Steph saying? Yes, my internet went out. I had to reboot. I'm coming back now.
Is it a humpback whale?
No, that would be me if it was a humpback whale. That would be me. That would be me, like freaking my twin then, my triplet, because I already have a twin. So it'd be a triplet. Yeah. I always say that, I could jump into anyone's pool and probably, take out that water really fast if I tried. The thing is, you guys, my twin cannot do this, but I can. I can. You know what? You guys want to see 5 chin rolls? Come look at. Go ahead. I got rolls all the way down. I'm like a vanilla roll. I'm not really a chocolate roll. I'm a vanilla roll. And so, but I can joke about that stuff because I literally don't care what anyone thinks of me. Either like me for who I am, whether I was thinner or fatter or whatever. Right, Tom? Right.
Hey, Sonny. I don't care what this fish looks like because look what Jess said.
Adam does seem like a good catch. Oh, yes. Let's roll that one in. That was a big cheese. Hold on. Whoosh. Yeah. Okay. Look at it. Well, I was going to wait for Steph to come back.
In my best Tom Webster voice, I'm going to say, he wishes.
He wishes. I hate doing lives. I can't do it the same way, of course, as Tom. I'd have to practice his voice. But, let me tell you about Tom. Okay. So I don't know why it popped up in my feed. Probably because obviously I must sit on Tom's channel all the time or something like that. So YouTube wants to feed me, obviously his content. So from 4 years ago, Tom uploads this Mariah Carey song and Michael Bolton. Okay. Because we're not making love anymore. Okay. Just know that. But anyways, oh my God. Hold on. Let me just hold on. Where's my library? No, where's my history? I can't play it, obviously. Come on, it's got to be in my history. Come on. Oh, there it is. Because we're not making love anymore. So hold on. Oh, better not catch any of that stuff on there. So share screen. Hold on. So my good friend Adam and kind of your friend, Tom. Yeah. So sudden I see Mariah Carey, Michael Bolton, we're not making love anymore. I mean, not like we were in the first place, Tom, but you could dream it, you can wish it, you can think about it. Unless, of course, you're thinking about Adam, then that's fine. But anyways, I love Michael Bolton. And I love Mariah Carey. Now, Celine Dion sits as Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, and Whitney Houston are like my top 3 ever. Steffa Jones, I still have no internet. One sec. Okay. No problem, Steffa, if you can hear this. But anyways, so I was like, Tom, you little sensitive guy, you. And so, of course, I listened to it, and I'm just like, I love the song, okay? I love duets. I love the song. I love Michael Bolton, Mariah Carey, right? And I'm just sitting there just like, those are those songs. It's almost those songs like when you break up with someone and you play it over and over and over and over again, but it's just such a great song. Yeah. But anyway, so 4 years ago, right? Did you ever do that, Adam, when you and your ex broke up there? Do you ever listen to those sad songs like I would do? No, feeling sorry for myself and be like, hold on, what's Tom saying? I was the first fan to get this recording. Is that what that meant? Because at the end of it, there was this writing. Oh, I turned it off. Okay. At the end of it, he had here. Let me present that again, actually. We'll go right to that part if we can. Can't listen to it right here. It says, I risk getting in trouble for releasing this, but music is meant to make people happy, and I know this will make a lot of people happy. If you enjoyed and appreciated it, please do a random act of kindness and pay it forward. Oh, Tom, I love you. I love you, buddy. That was just, honestly, I was just like, Tom, see, you might be an introvert and I'm an extrovert, but like my heart gets so sappy because, when I see something like that, because first of all, I've always believed in pay it forward well before that movie came out, right? About paying it forward. And it's like, look at that. He's a rebel. I'm amazed he wasn't sitting in jail with Kagan there. I risk getting into trouble for releasing this. But you know what, guys? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to release that because he obviously liked that song and he got the first edition of it, right? First, what did you say? The first a recording after 25 years after they did this live before Mariah's first song. Yeah. Special moments like that. Yeah. You have any special moments? Anybody else? Like, because Adam, do you have a special moment to do with music and anything special that you ever got in your hands first or anything at all? Tom the bootlegger. Yeah. No. Okay. You have to think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, but not that I want to talk about.
Yeah. Mine was, I was going to say mine, Tom.
In the music industry.
What the? Let's get to. No, Tom, don't you worry about this. We got you, Tom, on this one. My one that I recall was that one of our friends, good friends, he's one of those people, you take him for face value because he's a car salesman type of guy and he's so full of BS, but whatever. But anyways, if you get by that part, he's a really good guy. But anyways, his half brother is the guitarist in Theory of a Dead Man. And so we got to listen to the, of course, recordings or like the songs first. So there was one, and I think it was called No Name. It was like, that wasn't the title, but they just hadn't given it a name. And it was, and I think it was like, and it ain't no, what is it? And it ain't no surprise. Something about the BITCH in the song. Anyways, as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's a winner, right? I mean, I know there's other ones, Gasoline and all that stuff. But anyways, so of course, I was feeling really awesome because I can write songs. And I was like, if you could just send these over to Theory of a Dead Man, because Nickelback signed them, and Theory of a Dead Man and Nickelback sounded so similar. And then Nickelback kind of changed up how they sounded. But I just remember that when they would play on the radio, I'd be like, is this Nickelback or Theory? Like, they just totally sounded alike. Actually, my niece just had a picture taken with Chad Kruger. Is that his last name? Kruger. Over at, I think, Sammy J's or whatever it was a couple weeks ago. And because they live, or like they have a place in Langley over here.
Okay.
I love Nickelback.
Is that someone from Nickelback?
Yeah, Chad. Yeah, I love Nickelback. Anyone that's a Nickelback fan. But anyways, I was just, again, Tom, when I came across that on your channel from 4 years ago, I had, of course, leave a comment. But anyways, I think you said to move on. But yeah, it was.
I'll have to go over and listen to that after the live tonight.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker song for sure. Like ones like those songs, like they just really hit me in the heart because they're just so darn good. But anyways, let's take a look, Tom. Nickelback has fans. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They got a lot of fans. They got a lot more money than me and you, Ray Jones. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, this is how you remind. Well, I don't know if that's. I think it's called No Surprise. The actual song that I'm referring to was called No Name, but it was like No Surprise. I think it was called. Oops, hey, I'm going blurry. Hold on. Am I still blurry? I'm kind of blurry. No. 1 second. Well, I kind of am. But anyway, sorry guys. I know it's, this is Friday. We can do what we want. Don't worry, you guys. We're going to get into some Delphi. We're going to get into, sorry, you guys.
We're not even at the 30-minute mark. We're fine.
Yeah, we're still good. I'm amazed Tom's lasting this long, to be honest with you. Come on, buddy. I mean, we specifically do this for Tom because we know that he likes our half an hour, how are you doing? Let's talk about whatever we want. Tom loves it. He's just, if he says anything different, then he's lying. Okay, so ready for the, oh, Twinkie. Okay.
So Lacey Rebecca is now Twinkie.
So now I'm gonna think of
Lacey, but I love you, and now now that's gonna make me think of Kagan Klein.
You just got in my mind again. Twinkie it is. All right. Time to power about 100 of those back daily. Okay.
Oh, speaking of,
all right,
squirrel. Tomorrow's his birthday, so everyone remember to wish Kagan Klein a happy birthday.
Oh, is it tomorrow? Okay, is it tomorrow? He's definitely
29. That last year of his 20s.
I guess so. Is it May? Yeah, I guess it's May. Mm-hmm.
Wonder what he'll do to ring it in.
I was talking about the fawns. Yeah, right. Oh, just put a candle on my butt.
I'm just gonna keep trying to avoid this picture.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So are you ready? Are you ready for this? Okay. No. Again, you guys. I just want to know in the comment section if you guys think by chance that this aquatic animal kind of looks like Adam. I thought it did. All right, here we go. We're going to play it. All right. Unless you guys can think of somebody else that it looks like, but I thought it would look like Adam. Ready? Right here. Let me just see your reaction. Okay. That's why he wears a hat, guys. Okay.
Shelly, it is real. And you know what's funny, Sunny? I knew that was what you were going to play because that popped up on my feed yesterday.
It popped up on my husband's feed, and all I heard was really loud from the living room. What the bleeping hell is that?
I don't know why that popped up on my feed, but it did.
Yep, in Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that not crazy? But did you guys, let's just, hold on. Let's just add it to stream one more time.
Jess saw it too.
Yeah. but it's a true fish. But look how human it looks. It looks like it got some. Hey, I think it has Kagan's tumor. His brain tumor that Kagan says he had. Yeah, let's look at that again, just for 1 second.
I kind of like him.
Look at it. Hold on. No. It looks like Kagan with a Twinkie right now.
Better than by the shark in Florida.
Yeah. Oh. Look who finally made it back.
I had to restart my whole life.
You had to restart your whole life?
Yes.
Well, you look good.
Yeah, you look good doing it.
Well, hey, that's all that matters, right?
Kind of. Yeah. You missed. Did you see the fish video I just showed?
No, I've seen nothing. I'm telling you, like, I had like no internet. I thought I was gonna die. I'm like, how can you have no internet? On my phone. I sent you a message, but you probably lost.
Stefa, how grateful are you? How grateful are you that did not happen 20 minutes before when you were conducting a live?
It is.
I thought about it.
It is. Stefa, I just don't want you to feel like you missed it. So I just wanted to show you. I was showing Adam's aquatic animal relative. Or I think it's more like Kagan Klein's tumor, though. Or it's why Adam wears a hat to cover up that massive. Okay, ready? Hold on.
Yes, we checked that in our veterinary clinic. I had a tumor in its head.
Cool. Crazy, right? It is real.
You should get that fixed, Adam.
I like it.
I think it was the albino thing that was going on there, you know, and then the eyes were just staring at the food. That's why I was kind of going more towards Kagan, because Kagan's the one that has claimed that he had like a brain tumor, and plus the Twinkies, plus the roundness of the face, probably more like Kagan Klein, to be honest.
People are usually like Aspen, Kagan.
I know. Oh, so similar. You know, it's the blonde versus the brown hair, kind of like me and you, right?
I mean, Kagan gets a lot more attention than I do.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
Mustang. Yeah. And Mustang, thanks again for the 5 coffees yesterday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mustang.
Okay. So, you know what, Steph? I'm not going to be rude. I can be rude, but I'm not going to be rude. I caught a portion of your live. I caught about 35 minutes of it. Then I had to really rush and shower and then get ready for the live here. I put it to 7 o'clock just to give a little extra time. Oh, there's another troll. Hey, Dub. Shit, the trolls are coming out tonight. But anyways, so yeah, there was a couple of things that I did catch. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it. Sometimes too, I get ADHD when I'm listening, and next thing I know, listening, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm listening, and then all of a sudden my mind's wandering, probably about like, what doesn't matter, about streams, something else. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, wait, pay attention. So I do. So I like to kind of watch things more back over when it's silent at nighttime and I'm truly listening properly. So, great live. What are the couple things in your life that you can think of that stood out the most to you with what Nurse D and Mr. Lou, Dr. Lou, was saying?
Well, one of the things was remember how I freaked out when we thought Richard Allen, like the whole competency thing, and he was, in psychosis. So I had asked her if she had ever had somebody go into psychosis that, and then went to the mental hospital, because she's forensics, and then was not restored back to competency. And she said no, that they all they would have come there before prison, that they come there in jail. Like you don't just go into psychosis
Right.
at his age and then after the crime, and then that long after the crime, and then go and not be restored back to competency. So
I'm
that
here
was
still. Don't worry, I'm still here.
and then, like, you know, because she's had, you know, serial killer. We didn't get into all that. I just know that from talking to her. But they share rooms. So I had asked her, I mean, can you imagine sharing a room with a serial killer?
I know. Yeah.
I was like, so like, dude, I'd be like, two serial killers in one room. Like, that's how I wouldn't want, like, Joe down the hall, put him in with the serial killer because he's a serial killer, you know? That was one thing.
Do they have a police? That's what I was wondering in my head. Do they have, like, when they're dealing with these people like Lori Vallows of the world or Ted Bundy's of the world, do they have someone, like some sort of guard in there with them? I would assume.
What do you mean?
Well, would you feel safe being in a room with Ted Bundy doing a psychological or whatever test or whatever? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
how many people they have.
They use the state police.
Okay.
So yeah, they use the state police. So that was the other thing. What was something else that she said that was really interesting? Oh, that with a plea, usually you get a longer sentence. So say you are you get charged with murder and you're going to get 20 years if you go to prison, you might get life in the mental hospital.
Okay.
That was so you usually get longer sentences if you go in the mental hospital. And her husband still works there, and he had said that it's just like prison. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know, so that was they do one-on-ones. One thing she didn't say that we talked about, and I know why we didn't talk about it, but she said that sometimes they restore them and they take them back to jail, but they tell them they need like one-on-one, somebody to be with them one-on-one, and because they're still not, they're, you know, suicidal, but so they'll tell the jail that, and then the jail doesn't do it, and then I forgot, I can't say that word, and then they'll unalive themselves.
Oh, just say whatever. Just say red rum or whatever.
Red rum.
It's either red rum. Because then we can think of drinking at the same time. Okay. Yeah.
So that was something she had said yesterday that I found interesting, and that they don't have. Sometimes they send them back to jail, and they don't administer medications. So have you ever heard of that? A jail not having medication?
Wow.
So they'll get stabilized, and then they'll say, okay, this is the medicine you need to be on, but the jail doesn't administer any kind of medication.
Really?
People are on blood pressure medication. You have diabetics. What? I've never heard of that. And this is in my state. So I'm going to ask her some more information after. Like what we're talking about. Because I know it's not my county, because I know people that work in my county as a nurse.
Yeah. The one thing that I did remember hearing that stood out was, honestly, which kind of made me have a moment, a pause for thought, was kind of like what Mr. Lou, sorry, it was Lou, right? Mr. Lou, yeah. Mr. Lou, yeah, was saying, was that that when people commit crimes and they don't have their medication, and a lot of times crimes are committed because someone's not on their medication or something like that. And so he said a lot of these people are actually decent people, but they weren't on their medication. And so once they're back on their meds, it's like a different person almost comes back. And it did make me think for a second, because I'm always I'm like a black and white person. You did something bad, you hurt somebody, basically, to the bottom you go and throw away the key. I don't have no empathy for you, blah, 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 because you took somebody else's life. But then that made me pause for thought and kind of my thinking a little bit, just because I was like, it's things like that, that as someone that doesn't work in medication field or anything like that, or it has no clue about that, gave me a pause for thought, just to think like, you're right there, because a lot of people, even though they're supposed to take meds, aren't. Now, that doesn't excuse what they did, but it just means that it's kind of like liquor, to an alcoholic and stuff like that, who are we saying hi to? And there. And so it just kind of gave me pause for thought, because, it's kind of like I've seen people, on alcohol, and they're one way, and then give them alcohol and they're a whole different ball of wax. Like they're like 360. And I'm like, holy smokes. Right now, I'm not that person. So it's hard to comprehend when I see that type of stuff happening, so it did make me have some more, I think a little bit more empathy towards people that do have these things, even though they've done something really bad, that they're like he said, a lot of them feel remorse, once they're stabilized with their medication.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, you realize you killed your spouse, and then because you're not with it, like, when I was talking to her off, not tonight, but yesterday or one of the other days when we were talking about doing the live, she said that most of the time, the true ones that are really insane at the time of the crime, they have no recollection of what had happened. And then you give them the medication, they, start to come to like, oh my God, this really happened. And then can you imagine realizing you killed your loved one, and then having to live with that, because now you're back to being a, like, quote, quote, kind of normal person, and how awful that would be. I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
I know. Did you, oh, sorry, Steph. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was.
No, go ahead. I was done.
I was just going to ask you, did you by chance ask her or him on the live or behind the scenes? Did you say like Richard Allen did, like, meaning, or even Bryan Kohberger, if she knows about the Bryan Kohberger? Did you by chance ask like if she would deem those people as, like would he deem Richard Allen, or he deemed Richard Allen as having psychosis?
We didn't talk about Richard Allen, or we talked about Richard Allen, and she read about him so to prepare herself. Yeah. And she said, well, she couldn't, she said, I can't
really, I know. Gotcha.
But she did not, from what she read, and I told her about the crime, it didn't sound like it
doesn't sound like it to me.
Right. Because he was able to, there was a plan, you know what I mean? Right. Like, they set it up. He set it up. I'm starting to think there was a they. So,
Adam, from watching the live, what question do you remember?
Well, I was really interested. I thought the dynamic of the two was really interesting, and I really liked. There was the part when the husband, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, was talking about different. Oh my goodness, he was talking about the. He was talking about when they were. Oh my God. It was like when they were getting ready to be released or whatever. And and I can't remember what he's saying now. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Sonny.
You're welcome. Like going to the special, like they go to a group home, or
when they were talking about injections, how they administer the medication, I guess, and how they always come back down from, like it's kind of like what you were saying about, like, it's like 90 degrees about the psychosis, and then like they're completely different after it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm describing that horribly, but
I know, I'm not gonna lie. There was this one girl, Lara, in chat that was typing, and I'm like, just your typing alone is hurting my brain because I went to go look up what something conscience, whatever neuroscience was. And just even reading what the meeting was, I was like, oh my God, this is hurting my brain. It's using these words. And then I'm looking at Lara type there and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, you're just in a whole different world of talking than I am. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like someone talking mathematical stuff to me. And, it's just, yeah, it's like spaghetti. And I'm just like,
I was interested in the I'm telling my daughter I'm on your live on Sunny's live.
Oh, I got excited when your daughter came into the chat.
Yes, she talked about maybe coming up there, and I was like, I don't know if you might be bored, or not bored, but like they're going to be talking. So when I said, how they can make them take their medication and that they'll get a team of people and hold them down, and I was like,
that's what I'm talking about. That's when the husband was talking about that part. I found that interesting.
That was interesting. I was like, wow. And then that's when I said, well, do they ever just order like a monthly shot of Haldol? Because they have that too, where you can just take a monthly shot. So I asked her about that, and she said sometimes they order that. But she said they had a patient for a whole year. They had every time it was medication daily, they had to have the crisis team come and make them, hold them down and do the medication. And I was like, a year that went on? Yeah. That was crazy. It was interesting. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to have to go back and listen to it because I only, out of all the things that I did hear, that's the one thing that kind of stood out because I was too busy watching what Lara was typing. Because she made a comment like, so if anyone wants to talk about neuroscience, and I'm like, well, sure, if you want to talk about it on the live. And then the answer back, I was like, wait, but you just literally said, if anyone wants to talk, that's my specialty. And I was like, oh, well, if you want to come talk about it on the live, come ahead. And then she's like, and then I didn't even understand her answer, to be honest.
I don't know who she is. I'll have to go look at it on.
Yeah. Steph, someone did ask a very important question earlier, and I can't find it now, but they wanted to know if you were the tree expert.
Yes. We didn't get to my tree. We're going to do that after this live.
Okay.
My boss, whatever.
Yes, Steph is the same tree expert that we had on one night.
Deb saying something is weird going on. Okay, well, first of all, YouTube is acting up. Just so you know, so if somebody's trying to type something and you're getting errors from YouTube at all, just know that YouTube seems to be acting up.
Yeah.
But it's saying that all race comments are being held for review and staying at the bottom of chat. No one, I don't think, has the power to do that.
Right. Ray, go out and come back in.
I'm gonna pause. I gotta take care of a situation. I'm just gonna click my off thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure we lost. I'm sure we lost Tom Webster by now.
He's probably freaking sitting there 6 sheets to the wind. Probably him and a beer or something.
I bet Tom doesn't drink.
Come on. You don't think he's that boring, is he?
Oh, wait, there's Tom.
Oh, shit. Okay, there is. Ray said 3-word name for a donkey. I'm sure Tom has a drinky poo now and again. There's some people that don't drink. I haven't, but sometimes people don't drink because they have alcohol issues. I don't really think Tom is one of those ones that has that. I think it's YouTube. Yeah. Tom, do you even drink at all?
I don't drinks.
I bet he does. Tropical drinks, right?
I think Tom unbuttons the second button on his dress shirt.
Thought you were going to say on his pants, but okay. Tom, if you could just answer that for us, then we can move on from this chat. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen to that because I really am interested to hear kind of like, about that whole thing, because that process of, like you said, when they're sent and the things that they administer. But I was just shocked, or I wasn't even thinking about it in that way. Like I said about them not being on medication when they're committing a crime, and once they're stabilized, like a lot of them have remorse. That part I like hearing. I have drank. Yeah, Joshua Diggles is powering it back over there. I should get one of those. I should
Right.
probably
But
get
look,
one of those.
I told you Tom does not drink.
So you don't drink water? I don't drink
He
either,
said,
Tom.
no, he said alcoholic beverages or alcohol.
Well, you should.
I
look
I
better.
don't.
The more you drink, the better looking I get, Tom. You're welcome.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, let's move. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Kagan Klein and his girlfriend a bit. We're going to talk about the Gabby Petito burn after reading letter. Haven't drank in a while.
Jess said we sound like an age group. Yeah.
We sound like one.
Some people
sound
don't
like-
drink for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't drink very much anymore. But I noticed that. Remember when I had those bad stomach attacks? Like
Yeah.
I'm just going to associate that with the Captain Morgan because I don't. Unless it's just an episode that happened, I don't know. But let me put it this way: I haven't had any since. So maybe it was that Captain Morgan, the harder alcohol that was like, I don't know, because I have colitis. Yeah. I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Lacey, have a glass of wine. Your husband says thank you.
Yeah. Well, for all those drinkers that don't drink, make sure that the drinkers drink for the people that don't drink. I think it was like Chinese food you ate too. I don't know, because it happened like about 5 times, I think, total. And trust me when I say that was that I wanted to totally die for about a half an hour to 45 minutes. Oh, and Shelly, by the way, remember that discussion, that vivid discussion that you were having in our chat the other day, about the number 2 and stuff like that? That's what happened to me yesterday. I don't know what I ate or what I drank. Yeah. Okay. But let me just say, Shelly, I'm not even going to say it word for word like I normally would. I'll try to keep it a little classy, even though I hate that. But anyways, yeah, that's exactly what happened to me yesterday. I feel like you jinxed me. And all of a sudden I went to go like FART. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, Shelly? All right. Adam went off camera as soon as the number 2 story started. No, Adam likes my stories, okay? He loves those. So does Stefan. Right, Stefan?
I'm back for that.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm.
They have
Yeah.
something come out.
Yeah. I just wanted to let Shelly know because it was just made me laugh the other day when Shelly was telling this nice, vivid story. And Shelly was quite, expressive in her words. And I was like, Shelly, are you learning some notes here? Or is that just how you are as well? So anyway, we'll just leave that one at that. Yeah, because yeah. It was a number 2. Let me just put it that way.
Right.
Number 2 was not.
I do love a margarita.
I haven't had a drink in a long time.
Yeah.
Ray said he appreciated the trigger warning.
Okay, let me come over here.
Ray, I think her not having a trigger warning was part of the problem she ran into yesterday.
Hold on a second. Got to bring it in. Okay. So I just want you guys to know that this here is this here. Wait, where's the rest of it? Wait, where's the rest of it? Where's assertions? Hey, where's the rest of it? Did I send myself the wrong one? What did you say? So I feel like I'm missing some of it for some reason. Hold on. I had the full thing. Where did it go? Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. But we're going to talk about the Gabby Petito letter. But I had the full thing. Let me go back to my iPad. Send it to myself. Stefa, just go ahead. Take over the show for a moment. Okay.
Well, let me talk about trees. So this one time at band camp.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
This one time. You might have been too young for that.
Probably. No, I remember it.
far too young.
Wasn't that American Pie?
Yes.
American Pie. Ooh.
I remember.
Everything was like this one time at band camp. If you don't remember that, then I'm so old.
No. I remember that. I was I in high school when that came out? I don't remember.
Was.
Well, Steffi, you're younger than me, aren't you?
No, I'm 48.
Oh,
I'm
well,
old.
you're so gorgeous, though. I assume you're younger than.
I love you for that. Because
Yeah.
I don't feel gorgeous. I feel
Yeah.
old.
Ass kisser.
Ass kisser. I don't have anything. He wants, for sure.
I just want to know, Adam, do you say those things to me? Sonny, you look just some.
Absolutely.
Okay, go on.
Sonny, we all know you're the hottest thing in town.
Well, that's why Adam's alarm thing went off. I told you. Yeah.
No, I'm itching.
Yeah.
Now I'm freaking out. I'm itching. You're 42? And you're too old for American Pie.
Wait, Tony, did you just shave 2 years off your age?
Adam's younger than 48. He is.
Yeah, Ray, I am. I'm younger than you, Ray. And Lacey's 37, not 25, because she had a birthday back in March or April.
I remember that book called Burn After Writing. They made a movie about it.
Burn after reading, you mean?
Burn after
yeah.
reading?
Reading. That's right.
Oh.
Well, Anna said...
It doesn't do good to burn it after you write it.
Well, it says Anna put in her thing, Burn After Writing, that Gabby had given Bryan a book titled Burn After Writing.
What the heck?
Oh, that was my monkey. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that was.
Adam, is that the dog that's in your house?
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
That was funny. Okay, I'll make this bigger, you guys. So
I'll do my best.
So let me just look quickly at the poll again, actually. So the poll says that, I got to find it. It says, okay, so 25 say before, 49 say after, 10 say unsure, 15% say I don't follow the case now. What happened to the 18%? Okay, so I'm going to make this, I can make this bigger. Okay, make it bigger. That's too big. All right. So it says, here's the text of the undated letter from Roberta Laundrie to her son. I just want you to remember I will always love you. And I know you will always love me. You are my boy. Nothing can make me stop loving you, nor nothing will or could ever divide us, no matter what we do or where we go or what we say. We will always love each other. If you're in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, it says, I will bring show up. I think there's a missing word there. I will bring show up with a shovel and garbage bags. If you fly to the moon, I will be watching the skies for your reentry. If you say you hate my guts, I'll get new guts. Remember that love is a verb, not a noun. It's not a thing. It's not words. It's actions. Watch people's actions to know if they love you, not their words. Therefore, I am certain that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor the ruling spirits, nor things present, nor things to come, nor powers from above, nor powers from below, nothing in the entire created world can separate our love. Neither hostile powers, nor messengers of heaven, nor monarchs of earth. Nothing has the power to separate us. Romans 8:38, extended version. Nothing can separate us. Not hatred, not hunger, not homelessness, not threats, not even sin. Not the thinkable or the unthinkable can get between us. Not time, not miles and miles and miles. Okay, so that was this typed into that. Oops, this. Okay, so question for you people.
Yes.
The mom. Okay, so I want your thoughts, you guys in chat. Just do 1 and 2. If you have anything different, put 3 or something. 1, it was before. 2, it was after Gabby Petito was red rummed.
After. Oh, thought you were asking me.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I'm asking you guys.
I answered it out loud.
Lacey said if my mom ever wrote me a letter like this, I would question her mental health.
The whole guts thing, I'd be like, dude.
I like that she's fine replacing internal organs for her son, but when it comes to him traveling to the moon, the most she promises to do is watch.
Please.
I'm like, it's literally the easiest thing she could possibly do. But she's like, no, I'll replace my organs. But if you go to space, all I can do is wait for you to get back.
Right.
So, Adam, do you think 1 or 2? Before is 1, after is 2. Like, I mean, this is just a whole verbiage of, if you fly to the moon, I'll watch your reentry. If you basically need to dispose of the body, I'll get garbage bags and a shovel. Who says that, though?
Where was the letter found?
It was found in his backpack.
He was supposed to burn it, but he didn't. And now look where she's at.
My gut tells me 1, but but then looking at it through the lens of what he did and the fact that it was in his backpack, maybe 2. I don't know. But my gut tells me 1.
My gut told me 1 as well. But then when I'm looking at certain things like, okay, first of all, it's in his backpack.
That's right. Yes. That's why I'm like, well.
Right. Okay. So they found it in his backpack, unless it was something that had meaning to him and he kept it. But at what point would Roberta Laundrie need to write this to her son prior to, say, the death of Gabby Petito?
Probably one of the other times he failed in his life.
Well, and that's the thing too, Steffa and Adam. The whole burn after reading. Okay, that's where number 1 is hard for me to comprehend, because my gut said 1, because okay, she's writing this big massive thing about, hey, if you milk cows, I'll be there with you. If you do, swim in the water, I'll be there to pick you up so you don't drown, and blah blah blah. Yeah.
And Tom, yeah, after Gabby died, Bryan went home, and so yeah, he was staying at the house, so they had lots of in-person communication after Gabby. After Gabby was killed.
Yeah, so, he literally went.
They found in the backpack. I'm gonna change. Yeah, my gut was telling me 1, but I'm gonna change my answer to 2, because.
Well,
if she did write it before, clearly he found it and had meaning to him, because he did end up doing that.
How do we know she wrote it, Lacey? Well, because I'll tell you why. Because she said that she wrote it before Gabby Petito. She said that.
Stephanie corrected that.
Yeah. Just helping you out there, Twinkie. Oh, she changed it back to Lacey.
He wasn't carrying around for years. I don't think he was.
No. Mm-mm. So it's kind of one of those things, is that my gut said 1, but I'm thinking, in what circumstance is a mom? Okay. And if you guys know Roberta Laundrie, when you look at her, do you see, for me, I find it hard to picture her saying so I'll bring show up. Okay. Hey, it's obviously worded wrong.
Remember, that's how they lost track of Bryan, was because they were following her because they thought it was Bryan for a minute. And that's how they lost track of Bryan in the first place.
Sorry, say that one more time, Adam.
If you remember, they mistook Roberta for Bryan when they were watching the house, and that's how they lost track of Bryan.
Yeah, the sheriff's department lost him.
Yeah, because they were following Roberta. Mm-hmm. That's how he got off away, and ended up in the nature reserve.
Nature reserve, yeah. It's one of those things. It's like I said, when I initially read it, but for the fact of a couple of things I would have said before. But the fact that it was in his backpack, the fact that it said burn after reading, you know. But then there's that part of me that says like this is like this reminds me of almost like if when somebody knows that their child's going to go take their own life or something, or that all this stuff is going on, and she's basically just saying as a mother, like, you know, like I would do walk to the end of the earth for you, da 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 da. I'm gonna, so as much as I was thinking, one, there's those few things that tell me that she's lying, because what other circumstance would have happened perhaps in Brian Laundrie's life that she would have felt the need to write something like this,
Something that
deep,
in,
like really, like
yeah.
I almost felt like she was writing a love letter to somebody. That's how it came across.
It was weird. It was a weird mother-son kind of.
Right. Like maybe when her son told her he wanted to go live in a van.
You know,
Van life.
I'm kidding.
I know I should have said that, but yeah. I don't you think that the Laundries are like, damn it, Brian, why didn't you burn it? Because now look where we're at. I know that's a weird thing to think that comes in my head, but I wonder if they're like, damn it, Brian, you didn't burn the letter, and now we're in court.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
I was just saying, you know, I mean, I don't condone the Laundrie's actions at all. And again, I'm not a parent, but I mean, I do have empathy for them, only for the fact that, I mean, their son's actions ruined the lives of so many people, including theirs. And, you know, I mean, to go through like I don't know. I don't know if any parent would know what they would do in those circumstances, but I'm not condoning any assistance or help that they gave their son. And it doesn't, and you know, what happened to Gabby is tragic. But their lives have been destroyed by this as well. And I mean, my heart does go out to them a little bit. You
know, think about, sorry guys, I was vaping there for a second. Think about that Adrian Fauci, what the mom did for her son. She literally knew that he had done something bad. Well, she knew. And she tried. I just
recently, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you can finish your.
No, I was just going to say, look what she did, cleaning off the blood off of his jeans. And then she was stupid enough to like whisper it to him in a freaking room where there's police and cameras and microphones. Anyways.
I recently listened to or watched a thing with Dylan Klebold from oh my goodness, what was the school? Columbine. Yeah, from Columbine, his mom. And I mean, she talked about having to come to terms with, I mean, she grieved for her son, and then she didn't believe a lot of the stuff that, that she was told about her son. Until like she actually sat down and watched the tapes that he and Eric Harris recorded in the basements, where they, basically like laid out what they were going to do and showed how evil they really were. And she talked about how, as the parent of someone that inflicted that much pain on people, how, multi-layered that the emotional aspect of that all was, because she had to grieve her son. Then she had to grieve the son who she thought she had. And then she had to grieve the son she really actually had. And so it was like all of the grief stages, like compiled into 3 or 4 different people, is kind of how she described it. So, I'm not condoning anything that anybody does, but, it's interesting when you listen to the parents of someone that do horrible things and you hear how it affects them too.
Yeah. Sorry, just reading this one. Gabby's parents' lawyer says he can prove it, that she had passed and where she was. Well, I know Alexa's not on tonight, you guys, so I'm going to do my best to analyze some of this writing here. So Alexa, don't worry, I got your back on this one. So I'm just going to take, for instance, I don't know, let's take an L. Well, that L looks like it's a little bit slanted to the left. And I think if I'm looking at this correctly, Alexa, don't worry. Again, I've mastered the skill a little bit here. I think the L stands for liar. Okay.
Yes, I think, yes, I read that in school when I was in CIA school.
Yep. L for liar. Let's see here. What else? Oh, an F. F. I think that one, because of the way it's curved, right? I know it's hard to tell you guys, but there's this, it's almost like a C, but it's really an F. I think that stands for full of shit. Okay. I kind of think that that's what that stands for. Just by the whole, typically when somebody does an F like that, they have like, obviously they love their mommy, but I think that in Roberta's case, this stands for full of shit. Yeah. Do you think that Alexa would be proud of my analysis?
Yes. You're right on. You're right on.
Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are welcome.
See, my eyes went straight to the way that she wrote the word death. But that's just me.
Oh, well, Adam, are you thinking do you need me to write you a letter like that?
I mean, look at the unease that goes into how she spelled death, and like at the curvature downward. Everything about the way she wrote death just seems like there's so much weight and emphasis on that word that she wrote that she almost tried to force it, and like it's right, neither death nor life. And look how she lowercase death, but she put a capital for life.
Let's Google it.
Yeah. Look how the D runs into the E, just like that. And the A is slanting, right? Yeah.
It's hiding something. And then and it curves down.
Yeah.
And then if you look, and then she wrote life and she capitalized life, but that could just be, that could be a Christian thing.
Absolutely.
Well, no, I mean, because, sometimes if you're used to writing and the life, sometimes they will capitalize it. So, I mean, I'm just saying that could show her faith as far as Christianity.
Yeah.
Or it could go.
Yeah. You guys would, I mean, mind you, mine would be swirly cues and creative stuff going on. Yeah, like her writing's definitely not the best. I think she would have put a little bit more time and effort into it, considering this was such a special note that she wrote or sent. The Y. Oh. Yeah, we're talking about the Fallon hook. The claw. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you from the UK for watching. I know it's late there. It's 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Let's say it how it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few. Didn't she learn cursive in school?
Did you say cursive?
Cursive. Cursive.
Okay.
Cursive.
They do cursive in Canada?
Well, yeah.
They stopped teaching cursive in our schools.
Oh, did they?
They did. They don't teach cursive anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
Anna,
I think it's
Anna, I agree.
What did Anna say? If Bryan told any version of the truth to his family, I guess it would be that he put in his final letter a manslaughter scenario. Okay, you know what, you guys? I'm not going to lie. As much as I followed this case,
Hey, Mark.
I never read this letter that he left.
You did it? Yes, we read it on the show.
No, this letter? I don't remember, to be honest with you. Like somebody typed it all out all nicely.
Yeah, I think we tried to read the actual
the letter. Yeah, the letter. Okay. You know what? I just want to do it again because I don't really remember what's in it. Gabby,
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, well, let's. So it says, Gabby, I wish I was right at your side. I wish I could be talking to you right now. I'd be going through every memory we've made, getting even more excited for the future. I can't live without you. I lost every day we could have spent together. Every holiday I'll never get to play with unintelligible again. Never go hiking with TJ. I loved you more than anything. I can't bear to look at our photos to recall great times because it is why I cannot go on. When I close my eyes, I will think of laying on the roof of the van, falling asleep to the sight of a meteor shower and at Crystal Geyser. I will always love you. Isn't that what Garrett Kurtz said? I love you to death about Nicole, Nicole Bowen. Yeah, I love you to death. Those type of twisted things. If you were reading Gab's journal, looking at the photo from our life together, flipping sick, though old cards, you wouldn't want to live a day without her. Knowing that every day you'll wake up without her, you wouldn't want to wake up. I'm sorry to everyone this will affect. Gabby was the love of my life, but I know adorned by many. I'm very sorry to the family because I love them. I'd consider her younger siblings my best friends. I'm sorry to my family. This is a shock to them as well as the terrible grief. I don't really think it's such a shock, to be honest. They loved as much, if not more than me, a new daughter to my mother, an aunt to my nephews. Please do not make this harder for them. This occurred as an unexpected tragedy. Rushing back to our car, trying to cross the streams and spread the creek before it got too dark to see, too cold. I hear a splash and a scream. I could barely see. I couldn't find her for a moment. Shouted her name. I found her breathing heavily, gasping my name. She was freezing cold. We had just come from the blazing hot national parks in Utah. The temperature had dropped to freezing and she was soaking wet. I carried her as far as I could down the stream towards the car, stumbling, exhausted, in shock. I feel like I'm reading a freaking novel, stumbling, exhausted, in shock, when my knees buckled and I knew I couldn't safely carry her. I started a fire and spooned her as close to the heat, so she was thin, had already been freezing too long.
He's such a hero.
Isn't he though? It's like I'm freaking reading a novel. Bullshit there, freaking Bryan. Dude, the whole freaking red alert stuff's going off in the head reading this crap. I couldn't at the time realize that I should have. Come on. I mean, get real, right? This. Who's going through my head right now for some reason is Brian Walsh with his wife.
He's evil too.
Was her cause of death strangulation?
Yes.
I know she had blunt force trauma, but I think the actual cause of death was strangulation, right?
Yep.
And manual strangulation, if that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like what? 4 minutes?
Yeah. Okay. Because I see all these words down here. So it says from where I started the fire, I had no idea how far the car might be. Only knew it was across the creek. When I pulled Gabby out of the water, she couldn't tell me what hurt. She had a small bump on her forehead that eventually got larger. Her feet hurt. Her wrist hurt. But she was freezing, shaking violently while carrying her. She continually made sounds of pain. Laying next to her, she said, little lapsing between violent shakes, gasping in pain, begging for an end to her pain. She would fall asleep and I would shake her to wake her awake, fearing she shouldn't close her eyes if she had a concussion. She would wake in pain, start the whole painful cycle again, with furious that I was the one waking her, or she was furious. She wouldn't let me try to cross the creek, though. Thought like me that this fire would go out in her sleep and she'd freeze. Holy crap, we're almost done, guys. I don't know the extent of Gabby's injuries. Sick, whatever that means. Only the way she was in extreme pain. I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it was what she wanted. But now I see all my mistakes that I made. I panicked. I was in shock. But from the moment I decided to take her pain, I knew I couldn't go on without her. I rushed home to spend any time I had left with my family. I wanted to drive north and let James or TJ kill me, but I wouldn't want them to spend time in jail over my mistake, even though I'm sure they would have liked to. I'm ending my life not because of fear of punishment, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her. I've lost our whole future together, every moment we could have cherished. I'm sorry for everyone's loss. Please don't make life harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter, the most wonderful girl in the world. Gabby, I'm sorry. It's hard reading this crap. I have killed myself by the creek in hopes that animals may tear me apart. Oh, okay. that it may make some of her family happy. Please pick up all of my things. Gabby hated people who litter. Oh my God. Barry Morphew, crock of shit. Brian Laundry, you crock of crap. Oh my God. It's seriously, it's hard reading that crap. I didn't even know I was on camera still. Sorry, guys. I should have made it bigger. Okay.
Sees through said, read it. If she had to listen to all of that, her cause of death was probably suicide.
Right. What do you guys think of that? I mean, letter, honestly. It was like someone putting adjectives and frickin' all that crap in a novel, and you know.
Oh, thanks, Lacey.
What? Oh yeah, I followed you on Instagram.
He's disgusting.
Yeah.
And she was, I mean, you could see her spirit about her, like in the videos. She just like had this aura about her.
Oh yeah.
And to take that away. I mean, look at that. That's just a picture. That's not even the videos, you know. And then to just remove that, it's just evil. What possibly could she have done to or said for you to want to put your hands around her neck? That's just evil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the accident. Like, look at the pullover by the police that happened before. Oh, what the heck is that?
That's for some. I don't know how to take it off my.
Okay, it was only for a second. They were writers and artists. Does anyone believe that he put her out of her misery for real because he did the right, thing by
No.
the word?
Absolutely.
Does anyone believe that he did it, for real? That with genuine purposes, because you guys heard how he struggled, right? To listen to her pain and to drag her, to as far as he could to the car. I mean, it's not like she was far away, by the way. Wasn't it like it was that far?
Right.
And I'm very grateful. And I can't think of the channel's name, but it was something like Van Life type of thing. No, it's not Van Life, the one that's in the true crime here, but it's a different, the Van one, the ones that found the video that knew that they were in the area, and then they're the ones that handed that information over.
The husband and wife and the kids. I'm subscribed to their channel. They're amazing.
Yeah. So when people say that sleuths don't help or the internet doesn't help and stuff like that, first of all, that's just ignorance, to be honest with you. Meaning, we all know that with the good comes the bad, but at the end of the day, the mass amount of word that can spread so fast and the sleuthing that people do, I mean, in a matter of moments that people can dig up on somebody and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for their footage, they would have had no clue where she was. They would have came across her eventually, but they would have never have gotten there. Yeah, the red and white. And
Bethune. That's it. Yeah. She has major anxiety, and Gabby's mom and dad wanted her to come to the funeral, and she had such a fear of flying. But she has a dog, a special therapy dog, and the dog, she flew like all those miles so that she could be there for Gabby's family, and she's and her dog went with her, and she was talking about. So it was an awareness of anxiety, mental health awareness, and how she got across the country with her dog and got there for Gabby's family, and it just added to who they are as a family, and told their story of how they came upon that van. I mean, that they're like, hey, do you remember that van? It was, I got chills just thinking about it. It was definitely a divine intervention, if you ask me.
I know, for me, it was definitely a case that I followed. I pretty much knew the whole story to it because I remember Dog the Bounty Hunter was.
I was glued to the TV. I was watching a YouTube channel by Natasha Cooper, and she say what you want about Natasha Cooper or whatever, but she had great coverage. I mean, she was on like every 10 minutes, whatever changes there was. And
Right.
I think she probably made a lot of money because people were giving her money. I mean, sending her money because she was giving great coverage. Great coverage.
That's when I started to listen to or watch JB, what's his name, a lot.
Yep, that's how I learned about him too.
And I guess Brian Nitton. I guess that's how we all learned about Brian Nitton.
Yeah, he was across the street.
Yeah.
Or the store.
Yep. And this is the one where what was his name? JLR.
JLR. Yeah.
And what was the other person's name? And Bullhorn Betty.
And that's when Molly Golightly went down there and
see that's right. And it's only because when that was said to me, I was like, oh, okay, because I remember that when they were like at Brian's sister's house out in the front lawn, and there's these people there, you know, sleuths or whatever, but I didn't even know at all until, you know, like I wouldn't have remembered that was even JLR there or Molly Golightly or, you know, Bullhorn Betty and stuff like that. I mean, I vaguely know who these people are besides JLR. You know, Molly Golightly, I think I've seen her like twice for 2 minutes. And same with Bullhorn Betty.
That's the crew I was supposed to go to Tennessee with for the Summer Wells thing. Thank you, Jesus, that I did not go to that. Because that's when we found it was not good.
Yeah. There's nothing good at these cases. But so anyways, we'll wrap up the Gabby Petito one for now. I just wanted to read that letter, ask you guys what you guys thought about it, if you guys think it was before or after. You know what? I just feel like it's someone trying to get herself out of a predicament that he didn't like. If you put like the one thing that just really stands out is the burn after reading. Okay. So, you know, that was one of those things like, I would do all this for you, burn it after reading so nobody else can see it, type of thing. And, you know, she knew that, like, you know, a mother knows, first of all, too. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think she knew that he was going out there to kill himself?
My gut says yes.
Me too.
My gut took a gun with him.
I think which is weird. Like, why would you let your kid go? There's no way I'd be calling the police and saying, my kid is suicidal. Somebody needs to.
I mean, I'm not fully convinced that he didn't tell them the story that he wrote in that letter.
Oh, I was just going to say that, Adam.
I think they chose to believe that story.
Yes.
I think they chose to believe that their son did something, you know. I think they knew the truth, but I think they chose to believe the narrative he gave them.
Strangulation, Lacey.
I don't think his sister knew anything. I really don't. I don't think she had
not.
No, I agree.
But I agree, Adam. I always said that those words were just about to come out of my mouth. That I think that he gave the narrative to his parents about what happened, because basically he just, you know, like whatever, and then just showed up back at home. You know, again, granted, I'm pretty sure that he would have said that whole same version, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's like any parent. I'm sorry, but, you know, and I think go back to Adrian Fauci's and whatever, Fauci, whatever, his mom. And my heart's breaking, because imagine being put in that predicament that this son, okay, especially from a female. Now, Adam, you can definitely not understand this one unless you've given birth to a child, but so you would actually physically have to give birth, right? When that child comes twice, I know. When that child comes out of your body that you've carried around for like 10 months, not 9 months, 10 months. When you've carried that child around, you know, like I said, to me, my son was my gold bar. Now, I would like to think I would do the right thing, because I do like to do the right thing. And I would probably be saying, well, you know, probably have that talk with, you know, my son and say, look, you know, you need to do what's right here, you know, because that's how I always am. It's about doing what's right. But when you have the fact that your own child, you know, is going to be put away for many, 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 many years to come.
Forever. And maybe, I mean, I don't know if they have the death penalty out there, but
I was just going to say, I'm not sure. That's why I wasn't sure. But, you know, this is your child. And you know that almost like, and this is again going back to Chris Watts, it doesn't matter what Chris Watts did. Those are still his parents. When people make comments like, I can't believe that the parents are still talking to him. Come on now. When you have a child, no matter what horrible crap they did, you know, like look at Ted Bundy's daughter, right? You know, she talks to her dad. That's her only living, you know, parent.
What do you mean? Wait, you mean BTK?
That's what I meant. BTK.
wait, she doesn't talk to him. BTK's daughter. She was talking about how she can't stand him. It's just BTK's daughter. Who was
I
it?
thought she did communicate with him a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong there.
I mean, she did at one point. I don't know if she does now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about him with the crazy guy with Bryan.
Bryan Kohberger. Yeah. Well, because so many people were asking if he spoke to Bryan Kohberger and stuff like that. Well, regardless, bottom line is again, I mean, his is like beyond whatever. Okay, so that's like, but the thing is that if BTK's parents, like, they're not gonna just disown their son. Some people will, but at the end of the day, that child came out of your body as a mother, you know, and you know, regardless.
Right.
That's your child. That is your child.
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer's dad still loved him after he went to prison, and I mean, that would be a test.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if you raised Jeffrey Dahmer?
Right, but you know, Jeffrey Dahmer's dad still, you know, he still loved him up until the time he died.
But he might have been able to get. They knew that things were going on as he was growing up. That's what upsets me in the mental health world, is that when parents ignore when their kids are doing stuff. You got to get them when they're young. You got to get help.
I agree. I'm sure, though, as any parent, though, your mind doesn't go to Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I mean?
But we got to educate.
I know.
You know, and maybe that's just because of my story, but I'm just all about education.
Well, I mean, they might not end up Jeffrey Dahmer, but they look how prevalent school shooters are now. So I mean, you know, education is important. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No. I just always remember this woman that I met, and her daughter is bipolar too. But you know, my daughter's got all that therapy at a young age, and I thought I used to feel so guilty about that she had, you know, treatment, you know, at such a young age, and she was going in the hospital and outpatient therapy, and just, you know, her elementary all the way up. And I met a woman that said, "You are so lucky that your daughter, you know, had it young, that she was able to get help young." And I thought, lucky? Like the kid's childhood was, you know, going to mental health facilities. And she said, yeah, but my daughter didn't get diagnosed till she was like 18. And she's like, but now she's in prison because her stuff came out after 18. There's nothing I could do about it. And I was like, wow, you know, it made me realize that I was able, when they're under 18, you do still have control to do something about it. And I realized that that, as awful as I thought it was actually a blessing in disguise, because my daughter, I mean, she's living a life, you know, and she's not in prison, and now we're here to educate other people. And I guess that's probably why I get so always on parents, like, you have a chance to help. So I'm sorry, I got on that tangent.
No, absolutely. Steffa, you know, I mean, I think the thing is that most people, like a lot of parents, right? Like, you know, like I think a lot of parents really just for the most part, unless the kid's really out of whack. Well, first of all, the child would have to be talking to you, in a sense, because you don't know what's going on there. And like Adam was saying the other day, boys are massively great for more hiding their emotions. Everything's great, everything's fine. But I think that most parents just have no clue how to deal with their child, or when to take them for therapy or this or that, and until something maybe extreme or something really sticks out. That's I don't know how to explain that, but it's just, I think that
there's a stigma.
Yeah, there definitely is, but not so much definitely anymore. Not
It's
as
getting
much.
gotten much better.
Yes. Yeah.
Brittany's grandparents, she has some grandparents that don't want to have anything to do with her because of it. And
Really?
that's really sad. Yeah.
That is sad.
But I think even I mean, adults and parents with their children, I think it's the whole mental health, talking about it has helped tremendously, and I think that people are much more likely to not be like her grandparents, where they don't shun people for it. I think people are more open to accepting help for it as well, and even men. I think there's a gender gap as far as willingness to accept mental health as well, and race. There's also racial things with mental health.
Really?
Yeah. I think actually I could be wrong, but I believe that the least likely demographic to go get mental health care is Black men.
I knew you were going to say that, yeah.
And that it also can be, I think, like areas that don't have access, like poverty areas, just like
Absolutely.
Poverty areas don't have access to prenatal care, or even that's one thing that with me doing resources for my job for people, those areas, they don't have grocery stores, and so because they get robbed, so the grocery stores shut down. And now we've gone on a whole nother my ADD, but I'm just saying that when we talk about like low income areas, we take for granted that we have access to a lot. And when you get into more low income areas, they don't have access to everything we do. Bye, Rose. Thanks for coming.
Well, I think even for middle class people, I think people don't understand mental health, like what it's like to get help for mental health, and a lot of people assume that the cost is going to be too much for them, and so they don't even try, or they don't understand if their insurance covers it, etc. And it can be very confusing. So, and it's hard to know the resources in your area for your specific situation.
And to get into one. Psychiatrist, it's like 6 months to get into a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Right.
And
typically, sorry, Sunny, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was typically when you made a decision to go see someone, you need that appointment sooner than 6 months.
If there's anybody in chat, if you're trying to get into a psychiatrist, I would recommend going to now the nurse practitioners that specialize in psych, and they're usually very easy to get into, and they're awesome because they are nurses, and they prescribe the medications just as well as the doctors. So just an FYI, if there's anybody in chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Steph, look what we got here. Is this? Hold on.
Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. Sorry.
So, Steph, I just know that your cut of this is 0. Okay, for all your wonderful information, it's still 0. Yeah, Adam. No, Adam. I think this is pretty much that Tom is like saying, Sonny, thank you so much for talking about the song that I put up. I appreciate it. I appreciate you talking about me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your extrovertedness. But Adam, I think you just like, hey, Adam.
No, I would prefer to continue triggering Tom for free.
No, I like the feedback. Tom, What's up, the auntie? What can I do next for you, Tom?
Maybe if you
Love
do
my-
it once, you'll get more money.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Like the ODB reference stuff. Thanks. See?
Tom loves your super chat. $20. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. See, Tom, was saying that you should be a little bit drunk, and we need you now. You know, because I don't know what to say, Tom, because we're not making love anymore. Yeah, but I'm a little drunk, and I need you now. My husband approves. Don't worry, guys. Honestly, he's like, baby, whatever you want to do, I support you fully. Yeah, he knows White Court has already had me, so. What's people on the internet instead as well. Right?
Thank you for the kisses.
Yeah, but anyways, thank you so much, Tom. Yeah, that's so nice. And
my
Steph,
little thing is not working very well.
yeah, I don't really see Sunny or Adam's name there. I keep seeing Steffa. Steph is just right across the board there. We can't blame red rum on mental health most of the time, though. Most people with mental illness don't.
Or red rum.
Well, I'm just
Right.
thinking in my head, Stephanie, do you have statistics to go with that?
What'd you say?
Well, I'm just wondering if Stephanie has statistics to go with that.
That she's actually right. Usually, people with mental
Okay,
illness
you're right, Stephanie. Shit. All
Okay,
right.
you are right.
usually want to hurt themselves, not other people. Normal. I mean,
I wanted to highlight this one before. Lisa, that's incredible. Lisa said, my eldest has had mental health issues since 18. I got him help with the first sign, and he is living a normal life.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And I know we talked about that. You've mentioned that in the chat before, so thank you. And PJ, I'm talking about children. Good evening, late but here. My last child graduated high school tonight. Yippee. Congratulations.
I just want to know when your child is going to be on our show, PJ. Because PJ said that, where is it? Where is it, PJ? Right here. Is this it? Yes, there we go. At Ray Jones, that just the beginning of college, he's majoring in criminal justice and forensic. Hey, man.
Awesome.
Hey, if your daughter ever wants to come on the show and talk about that stuff with us, absolutely. Okay. Doesn't matter if she's just starting off in college and blah, blah, blah. I think it's kind of like have a niece that she's, what is she doing? Something to do with the criminal stuff in there anyway. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I have, they keep switching their careers. Thank you. When she graduates college, I'll send her your way. If that's by, in the next few days, that would be great. Okay. Yeah, we don't got time. We got to just chop. We'll just graduate her on this channel. No problem. Right.
Lacey can't have a daughter graduating high school. You're a baby.
Right, Lace. Yeah, there was Adam. Okay, you guys, let's move on to Bryan Kohberger. Okay. We'll do Kagan Klein last or whatever. So Bryan Kohberger. A lot of information's been coming out with that. Our Drunk Turkey show was Shelly, are you listening? Drunk Turkey show was gracious enough, of course, to send the video that had that special on it. Okay. I'm gonna say this myself about that whole special. I would say 98 stuff was crap we already knew. Okay, that stuff had already come out. Okay. So after listening to it, there was only a couple points in there that did stand out. But I was curious, and I said this to Daniel today because it was something from a couple of days ago when I watched it. I was curious.
Sonny, I'll be right back while you're talking.
Coburger active in Pennsylvania before the Idaho. Right. They're talking about that in the Smithers case there, I think it was. But why didn't they bring up the Seven Sirens bar? Because supposedly at the Seven Sirens bar, hey, my things are doing it. At the Seven Sirens bar, that's one where Bryan Kohberger in Pennsylvania, basically they said that they put him into the computer because, he was acting strange, like he was just a very oddball, and he was like, giving people the creep vibes. So then Daniel said, well, I don't know, like maybe it wasn't true because there's so much things that aren't true. But I was like, I kind of feel like that one was true. But that one, regardless, that one, I don't know if they forgot or maybe they asked him. I don't know. All I know is it didn't make it into the documentary, which to me it should have if it was accurate. But so the thing about the sister, them telling us that. Now, also about the whole Papa John Roger thing. I remember that he had posted after the fact of Bryan Kohberger being arrested as well. Hold on, my camera's going glitchy here. But I feel like this narrative is being pushed like that supposedly is Bryan Kohberger now, when I thought that was already dealt with. But what else was there with you guys? There was one other thing. Other than that, pretty much everything else we knew. But my thing is this. I was thinking about something. And by the way, Dave on the Drunk Turkey Show, by the way, for anyone that's watching this video that has any sort of skepticism or whatever, that dude's real and genuine. Just a shout out again I want to shout out again to Dave for coming forward on the Drunk Turkey Show and going on Truth and Transparency, which is Lana's channel. Oh, sorry. Did you say something, Stepha?
Nope, didn't say anything.
Yeah, because, his friend, his best friend, Kaden Young, passed because of, I believe it's, like bad drugs. And it's almost like somebody that was very brokenhearted, because obviously this didn't happen that long ago. And somebody that just wanted to offer up maybe some information that might be useful. But the gist of it, I think, was a lot about his best friend, Kaden, and about the drugs in the area, and basically him wanting to his life changed, let me put it that way. You know how sometimes it takes something to hit home before you realize that you need to change your path because it brings you to a reality check. It's kind of like those people that say, oh, I wish I would have said this to my best friend or husband or wife or whatever. Oh, but I didn't. Oh, I wish I could have said that, and then their life changes because of an impact that happened and stuff like that. So I do really want to give a shout out to Dave, not his real name, by the way, and just say thank you for talking and being a voice. Absolutely. So with that being
said, is Dave on the show?
The drunk. Well, yeah. So Lana and Truth and Transparency have both had Dave on their show. And so it's just one of those things, like there is some creators saying that he's fake and stuff like that. He's not fake. He's not. A lot of people are saying it's Enan Harsh and stuff like that. Again, I just wanted to give a shout out to the gentleman, Dave, that was on the Drunk Turkey Show and Lana's show, and being a voice for his friend, especially because of drugs and basically getting, I think it was bad drugs, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of like reminds me of Blaine that would come on our show. I miss him dearly and I miss him greatly. And Blaine decided that he was going to use again after being clean for a long time. And, Ashley was, put into jail for breaking probation and stuff. And basically Blaine got a, whatever you want to call it, bad hit, whatever. And Blaine ended up dying, and Yeah. And so, anyways, I just do want to give a shout out and say thank you very much to that Dave guy for being a voice for his friend, and then also realizing that his own life has to change because he didn't. Uh, it just hits home. Simple as that. But I want to go back to Kaylee. Shelly, that's a good question. What's the question? Do you think BK started the text that someone was murdered on King Road, and how people started getting text early before that call at noon? Started the text. I don't think so. I mean, I haven't thought about that, to be honest. I'm just going by my gut intuition. I don't think so. I think I think that whatever happened in that house that morning, something clearly didn't fall into place properly. That the girls woke up, that instead of calling 911, that they called over friends. Like, I know one of them was Ethan's best friend. They called it, right? There was something going on that these people got notified earlier in the morning. So between, say, 8:30 to 10, somewhere in there, and that they already knew. So what Dave had said on the Drunk Turkey show was that, and this is going to Kim from WSU. And if you guys don't know those names, these are just people that have come forward. And Kim was saying that her daughter knew about it before it was called into 911. So she was that mother. And Dave was saying the same thing, like he was pretty tagged, he said, and right, like their message thing was going off and stuff like that. And at first it was said that it was with a knife, and then it was said that it was that they OD'd. Okay, so as most people started believing up until it was announced again that it was to do with the unaliving with a knife. Other than that, for quite a while, they believed that the second story that came out was true about ODing, because that's what more made sense. So do I think he started it? No, I don't personally. I just think that there are some unanswered, definitely, questions about the timing of that. Like, everyone still is questioning about what Dylan, like why Dylan didn't call him, what happened to Dylan. I remember there was that person that came out speaking for Dylan, which made sense to me. It kind of made sense to me. It might not be true, but he basically said that, look, yeah, she looked out, but she didn't. She just thought it was like somebody is in the house. This person's walking by the door, and she locked her door as normal and basically had yelled out to, like, shut up and whatever. And then, kind of like closed the door, locked it, and went back to sleep, right? Because of this big time gap. Now, in time, we'll get told the story for that, but there's definitely something that happened there. So what took them still? That people were getting notified, regardless. People were getting notified at 8:30, whatever, in the morning, 9 o'clock, whatever, and that the police weren't called till 12 o'clock. Okay? Those girls did not get up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or 11 o'clock. Usually, I don't know about you, Steffa, but alcohol actually makes me sleep less. I don't know.
It's because it turns to sugar, and,
right.
and that's why I'm the same way. I have a hard time sleeping after when I have to eat like a bunch of fatty crap food and to feel better.
Like Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, yeah. Ooh, that sounds good.
So Adam and Steffa, and you guys in chat here, all 38 of you. Okay, and so I was thinking about something as I was, thinking about Bryan Kohberger and, watching that Dateline thing. But it wasn't. It was only because of that my memory came back to me. I remember that Kaylee's father, I believe it was, said that she was massively into true crime. that
Well, she was, and she followed Olivia on TikTok, which is why they gave that interview to Olivia, because they knew that Kaylee had been a follower of hers, and
Right.
she'd listened to. Remember, she had even tipped someone in a missing woman at Walmart that she saw.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
Who's Olivia, though?
Olivia Chronicles. The name of the channel is Chronicles of Olivia.
Yep,
Yeah.
she was at the laundries too. She's friends with Bullhorn Betty.
Yeah, she's friends with Lana, and I think she's part of that whole little, like, they're all, associates.
Mm-hmm. So my thing is this, and maybe it's been thought of, and I don't, whatever. Hold on, my camera's freaking messing up. It's because I turned away. So perhaps because she was in true crime, perhaps she ended up coming across Bryan Kohberger through true crime. Perhaps she answered the survey just joking around because her friend said that she's like how Kaylee loves to joke around. Like perhaps she met him, came across him in the true crime. I thought to myself, well, I know that he did the DeSales thing before he left, like Pennsylvania and whatever. But I just was thinking to myself, well, maybe that's how he got to know her, or know of her, is because of her being in true crime. And obviously he's a criminologist, and darn well he's watching true crime, like Barry Morphew. So as that goes,
I would be into, like, if I met somebody that had his position, because I'm into true crime, I'd be like, oh, you're a criminologist? Oh, tell me about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would find that interesting.
Like, does anyone really talk about that? Because, that's one of the first things. And now that I think about it, because I kind of forgot about that until I was like, hold on a second. But Kaylee was into true crime. So that's why, for me, like, Kaylee was the target. I think so.
But I mean, I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. But I mean, the true crime is so popular now, and girls her age, I mean, I guarantee you, 30 to 40% of them probably watch true crime on a regular basis.
Yeah, but what's the point of that, though? Like, what's the point, though? Like if she's into Reddit, because remember they asked for her Reddit, and she's on Reddit threads, and he's pretending to be
absolutely.
So I'm just thinking, like, meaning, yeah, it's a small, like, honestly, sometimes it's a real freaking small world out there, and you never know.
Oh, of course it is.
But like, maybe, like, it's just one of those things. If she's into true crime and he's a criminology and he's looking to, perhaps take some out, but maybe like she did something on there, pissed him off. Something, maybe, I don't know, like that. I'm just saying.
Remember, we know now that he bought the knife in July.
Yeah, but that was just probably for preparation.
But that's what I'm saying. So he was planning on.
Well,
he was planning on doing this to someone in July.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't truly know that, to be honest.
Why would you buy a K-bar style knife? If he has a pattern of buying other knives, nothing strange. But if he's never been interested in weapons like this, and he in July goes and buys a military style knife,
no,
in my mind, that points towards him having decided he's going to do this to someone,
right? But
use it to scare someone, or something along those lines.
The only thing is that, again, we only can surmise that that was the first knife that he bought. So meaning, in the States there, you guys like your knives and your guns and your different things out there, like knives out here, you actually have access. Guns, you can't get the miracle. But it's one of those things, to me, it's like, I think at some point, like, I'm sure it's to do, like, he bought a knife doesn't mean, I don't think he necessarily maybe knew that he was going to use it, you know, whether he knew he was going to use it in the next 5 months, a year, whatever. He probably brought a knife because in his head he was preparing for it, that sometime, some point it was going to happen. Who knows? Who knows?
Or he fantasized about it happening and he bought it as part of that fantasy.
But there's some connection there. Like, I mean, I guess it's just kind of one of those things. Okay. So we know that drugs were sold. It was said that Xana sold drugs too. And it's probably true, right? She sold coke. And again, probably true because Dave was talking about that and having purchased it from her and stuff like that. And so that, go ahead.
Is Dave the same Dave that you were talking about earlier?
Correct. He's the one that was on the Drunk Turkey show and Lana's show.
Okay. And I didn't know he knew them. I thought he was just a random guy you were talking about.
No.
He knew two of them, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he knew Maddie the best, Maddie Mogan.
Whose birthday was yesterday, by the way?
Was it her birthday yesterday?
Yeah, she would have been 22.
Oh, wow. Was it? Oh.
Yeah, it was also my squirrel. It was also JJ Valo's birthday.
Really? See, how do you know these things? Where do you see these things?
That I saw both. Well, I knew it was they've started an annual thing. It's to do a random act of kindness every day on Maddie's birthday. And so yesterday was kind of the first Madison Mogan May Day, I guess, or Maddie May Day that they call it. So it's just basically a reminder every year on her birthday to go out and do a random act of kindness for a stranger. But they did talk about it on Banfield last night, which is why I knew it was JJ's birthday. Oh,
okay. Yeah, because I mean, only because you guys, I don't spend a lot of time doing stuff, so I didn't come across those myself. So I feel badly because I didn't know it was the birthday, especially of Maddie. Not to take anything less of JJ, but Maddie's case, because that's one that's splashing around everywhere right now going on. So I don't really look at my Twitter and stuff too much. Usually what pops in my face, unless I'm specifically looking, I'm really not that great at, unless I'm looking for something specific or I happen to see YouTube and it says something like there's a video in front of my face. Other than that, I'm pretty oblivious. And if it wasn't for Facebook and me and Mustang were talking about this, if it wasn't for Facebook reminding me of birthdays, and sometimes I don't even see the reminder, but it's like, oh, right. Hey, it's my birthday. Other than that, like your birthday sticks in my head. Alexa's birthday sticks in my head. I want to say Deb's, but I'd be lying if I said Deb sticks in my head. I know she's a Pisces, and I know it's towards the end of the month, but I'd be lying if I actually knew the actual day. I want to say the 26th for some reason. Go ahead, Adam. Do you know?
What?
Do you know what day Deb's birthday is?
I have it on my calendar. I could look.
Yeah, tell me if it's the 26th. I want to say like the 22nd or the 26th or something like that. But anyways, so first of all, to Stefan.
Yes.
PJ says, I don't believe this was his first time. Do you? Do y'all?
No, I don't think it's his first time.
Okay. Adam, what about you? Do you think it's his first time?
I did, and I do believe it's his first time, but with them investigating him for other things, maybe not.
Right, because meaning like they said, well, why would they need them to come if they could easily figure out that he had a strong alibi just by digital data and stuff like that? So why would they still need the parents to come, right? And so
is it possible that he has something with the girl that was missing?
No. Well, I mean, it's possible. But Deb's birthday is February 21st. It is possible if you're talking about Dana.
That's the one that his parents had to go testify this week.
Yeah. So they are claiming that he has a strong alibi for it, and Dana's sister has said, well, the police there have said they don't. There's no connection, and Dana's sister has said there's no connection.
I'll be right back. I just need to get a drink.
So does that mean there couldn't be? Of course. It means that, it doesn't mean anything, there could be. But I mean, if the police are saying they don't believe there's a connection and Dana's sister is saying that she doesn't believe there's a connection. I don't know, because but then why are they testifying?
Right. And the police can lie to us. And
Well, of course, yeah.
sister,
But would they have any reason to lie about that?
I don't know, but I don't know, and they could have told the sister to lie, but I don't know if maybe that's because of if there's a reason that it might affect the current case. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing surprises me in true crime anymore.
And I knew nothing about this case until I watched a video that the Inquisitor had put out the other night. And then I saw something on News Nation about it as well, about the Dana Smithers case. And I mean, in of itself, it's, you know, so sad that this woman went, you know, that this woman went missing and she was just recently found. Yeah.
The mom?
That was last year.
No, I'm talking about the one that was missing almost just like a full year. Dana Smithers.
The one that I saw was, I think it was on. She like was walking from like a couple houses down.
Yes, and she left with her phone and everything, but then her phone and everything was found at the house.
Yes, they found her.
I believe so.
They found her. I didn't know that. Well, I don't know anything about the case really. So
I believe they did. I mean, now you have me questioning myself.
No, I don't. You're probably right. I just know because I don't know about the case. I just wonder. That is the case that the parents went.
She's a missing person. She's a missing person.
That's what I thought. But that's the one the parents went and testified at grand jury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was found.
Was she found? Okay, I'm just looking at the missing. Okay, that must be an old missing person thing then.
So, does it say how they found her? What was anything?
Well, let me.
I know she was found in a wooded area, and she was because it had been a year, they couldn't determine a cause of death.
Okay.
I mean, unless I'm thinking of the wrong person.
No, Dana Smithers. Let's see here. Confirmed. Let's see here.
Her remains were finally discovered last month, with her cause of death still a mystery.
Okay. So last month.
Yeah, I knew it was recently, and they said because it had been so long, they couldn't determine a cause of death.
Why they grand jury then? Because what are they somebody with something.
Well, the grand jury has been ongoing since before Bryan Kohberger's arrest.
But a grand jury comes in if somebody's being charged for a crime.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. The grand jury's been going on for over 6 months.
So who are they charging a crime for? So
weird. My goodness, stupid thing. I hate it when you click on those stupid things and a freaking bunch of ads come up. And
they said, and I read that this grand jury they were looking at this case and they were looking at other cases in the area. So I guess this is this grand jury was encompassing other crimes as well. And they started to look into them in relation to Bryan Kohberger after the arrest. And that's when they've determined, I guess, that there was no connection to Bryan Kohberger because of the alibi, which maybe that in itself is why the parents are testifying to, confirm what the police have said with the alibi. I don't know. That's completely my speculation on it, but or maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, that's where. And is it true the sister was concerned that he might be involved, or the whole family was concerned?
Well, we have no way to know that for certain but that's what was reported from a source clearly within, close to the family.
Isn't that something?
Right. Good night, Ginger. And Ginger, if you talk to Dottie, tell her we're thinking about her. And like I said, hope she's doing well.
Is that Dana on the left?
Yeah. No, that's Bryan. That's Bryan Kohberger.
Oh, I know that. I mean the girl. Thank you, Captain Obvious. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was talking and I didn't realize I was muted, but one second, I gotta open my pop. Unless you guys want to hear it. Snap, crackle. Oh. I want to
Yeah.
pop. I want to zero Coke, zero whatever. Anyways, my coming back to this, but I want to ask another question. So,
Sure.
in the documentary, they talked about this person that asked Bryan Kohberger to come to the apartment because things were moved around, and because nothing was taken. Yeah, and
His
so,
friend or something, right?
pardon?
Wasn't that his friend, like from
Yeah,
school?
friend. Yeah, friend.
Yeah, it was a coworker within his department at school.
Right. And, like Drunk Turkey Show, Daniel, he was mentioning that he thinks perhaps a little bit more because, why wouldn't you call the police? And so he feels like maybe they had maybe a little bit more special relationship. Who knows? But anyway, so yeah, he installed or said to install he installed cameras or whatever like that. But anyway, so my thing is this. So if you have this girl, this female or whatever, and stuff's being moved around in her apartment, she gets whatever. What about that girl that was down the street on the Crescent there that called the police because somebody put her underwear in the
Absolutely.
thing?
Well, I think that's absolutely fair, because those are very odd things that were happening. And have you seen the video of the body cam footage of that girl?
Yeah.
Because it's out there. I mean, that house is literally.
Yeah.
So you remember where Jack lived, where we saw the roof?
Yeah.
That house, they're at the other side of that cul-de-sac, and then you can see the King Road house right there.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me at all if that was not allegedly Bryan Kohberger.
It wouldn't surprise me either if that documentary, is true in the whatever it was, that documentary.
The Dateline.
Because that's just coincidental that somebody that's right near the King Road house, literally nothing's taken, but things are put into the luggage and the luggage is just on the road and the panties
If
it's
a random car break-in, sure. Nothing suspicious. But
that's weird.
But what happened there with it being a female and the luggage and the panties, that's weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Who was it that was saying they wouldn't be surprised to find that there were possibly things like that taken from the King Road residents, which we have no indication of that in any of the search warrants that have been released, but
right.
The only thing we know about it is the IDs. When I first heard about this Dana Smithers, that's what I thought connected this was. I thought maybe they found Dana Smithers' ID in Bryan's house. But when I found out that this grand jury's been going on for much longer, I don't know.
Do we know if Dana...
We'll have to wait and find out.
Adam, do you know, because I don't know, do you know if Dana Smithers was essayed?
That's not been released at all. All they said was that she was found decomposed in a wooded area. And if you look at the map, I mean, DeSales University, where he was remotely getting his degree, his home, and where she was found, I mean, it's like a triangle. They're all they're relatively close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
Learning all this. Jess, some of it came from court papers. Some of it came from the Dateline episode that was on last week, a week ago today. Some of it's just come out over the last couple of weeks with the Coburger case. But anything that we're talking about that's speculation, we're of course saying speculation.
Yeah. I did have a map, but I'm not gonna. Well, maybe it's on here. Maybe
the girl on the left, is that Jess?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, who's on the left?
No, not Jess. That's Dana.
I was gonna say that's Dana.
Sorry, I was looking at Jess's name.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, hold on a second. I thought that was Dana Smithers.
Yeah.
You knew what I meant, though.
Yeah, and if you missed the Dateline episode, if anyone has Peacock, you can watch it on Peacock. And it's on YouTube apparently. Sonny said.
Now my
Yeah.
Bell's going to be here in a minute, so I'll have to click off.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're around 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, are we already? Well, I was going to bring something up, but I'm just going to hit cancel. I was just going to bring up that area, but because we're already at that already. Screen share was canceled. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to do them on like different lives or something like that because
I'm sure we'll be talking about this again with the Dana case.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oops, sorry, I don't even know I'm off camera here, but yeah. So, anyways, for the Idaho case, I guess it depends what you think. So, do you think, Adam and Stefan, anyone in chat, do you think it was a sexually motivated crime?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, or do you think
motivated? Yeah, absolutely. Motivated, yes, absolutely. I don't think that. I don't think there was any essay committed on the victims in Idaho.
No, there's not.
But I mean, motivated 100%. I think it was sexually motivated.
So do you think it was like sexually motivated because he got his butt ass hurt and that no?
I think he just got off on it. Like
so
how they said Delphi, like they might have not done that, but that's how they find they don't necessarily have to do the deed to get satisfaction.
Right. I think with him it goes into a much more broad, deep-rooted hate for certain things about females. I don't know what they are, but
ones.
But you still believe that one person was more the target?
I believe I think one person, probably one or two people, probably he probably fixated on, and I believe because they probably represented the things that brought those feelings up in him. I'm just guessing, just using my gut, but I think that he fixated on one or two of them because they represented all of the things that elicited those feelings in him, and he targeted them.
That he couldn't get in a female,
or they represented the things he hated about females, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I kind of like. It's not like I don't like, just like I don't feel like I know Alexa does. That feels like Ari was like this was some sort of sexual fantasy. I think of it more like my eyebrows are doing that weird thing. I don't know why. Like I haven't really thought about it in a while, but I kind of think of it more like it was like yeah, he has issues with females, and type of thing. That's clear as day. But it almost to me seems like just that he just wanted to perform the act of, taking out somebody or some people. But I guess when I'm thinking essay, I'm thinking to myself like, how do I explain that? I'm not thinking of it like that was like a big desire to, kill somebody. I think it's because something about maybe one or a couple of them pissed him off or whatever, because they represented everything. Like, when people get a hatred because it's kind of like none of those type of girls would look at him or this or that or whatever and stuff like that, perhaps. And then they because of their anger issues with females, that it more was about like the thrill of doing that. And this person was the right opportunity because this person perhaps, whatever. Because wait, didn't they say that in the documentary that there wasn't a DM? But there was no DM messages, like they said. Do you recall hearing that?
They said they did. They said that they believe there were. I can't remember the wording in it, but they said it had been reported that there was, that they could not corroborate that they don't believe there is, or something along those lines. So
Okay.
they called into question because that was a reporter from People magazine that
Yeah.
had reported that to begin with.
Yeah.
And they said they had a source that confirmed it. Dateline saying they have a source that's saying it's not true. So nothing, confirmed by law enforcement.
I mean, he went around there like 12, 13 times or whatever it was, So,
And we know that law enforcement was very interested in their social media accounts.
yeah.
But what did they find? Nothing.
I'm going to still think it's Kaylee.
I think it's Kaylee.
Perhaps came
Because also
across.
remember, Kaylee had already moved out. This was his. If it was Kaylee, that night was his last chance. Even if there were other people in that house.
Think about this. Okay, think about this, you guys. So, on social media, they're very active and they basically are showing exactly where they live in that. So he's gone around to that house 12 or 13 times, right? Between all these different dates. So Kaylee, obviously, Adam, how soon before the killings did Kaylee move out? Wasn't it a couple of weeks before?
It was after Halloween. I think I think that Halloween was her last weekend there.
Okay.
And then she was gone for 11, 12 days. She came back for this one last weekend.
Yeah.
And then she was going to go back home and move to Texas.
Yeah.
And so if it was Kaylee, he knew that this was his last chance.
Correct. Because if you've gone to that house 12 or 13 times for a couple of months, stalking it out, and then Kaylee moves out, but because of social media, she's blabbing away, of course, all the different things that...
The picture with Maddie on her shoulders was posted that.
Right, and that was from the White House. They said they call it the White Apartments or whatever it is, but those white ones. But anyways, so that would kind of make sense to me that, that particular night, and it just happened to be the 13th, frick's sake, so what is it about 13th, that because of the social media, he knew Kaylee was going to be there. I'm going to say that it's through the true crime of something that he came across her online or something, maybe. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just going to go with that because he's of criminology. He's into true crime. Maybe they came across each other on Reddit. Well, who knows? Regardless, there's some sort of connection. I think it's to Kaylee. I think like Adam just said too, right? Because I was just about to say that was the last kick at the bucket for him to go after Kaylee because, again, she had moved out a couple of weeks before. And if he's doing all that legwork, right, ahead of time, that's his last opportunity. Hey, that makes sense, doesn't it, Adam? We're smart.
And doesn't matter. And, and it would also explain why he was willing to take the risk with, 5 or 6,
exactly.
5 vehicles parked in front of that house.
Right.
And he'd been there enough times to know which ones were normally there and which ones weren't. Yeah. And remember, Kaylee's vehicle was brand new. So her, the car that she had before that was not parked there. Mm-hmm. So did he know that she got a new vehicle?
I think, Ray, I feel like the end goal was his goal. That all this stuff going on up here, so. and that's why he bought the knife ahead of time. He might not have known when he was going to use it, but he was going to use it, right, at some point. And that's why he was planning and doing the circling of 12 or 13 times there. Like I said, checking it out, getting to know who's where, blah, blah, blah. Of course, nothing ever goes to plan typically, right? There's always some whatever. I still think that Zaina and that, were collateral damage like Abby, I feel like right. Myself. But yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
You read, if you read those charging documents, he was with Ethan and Xana, they said with premeditated, that word is in his charges for killing each one of them as well. Yeah. Which means that they think that he planned on killing them all.
Yeah. Obviously, because like Dylan and the whole Bethany thing, but that's a whole different ball of wax and another live. Steffa, because I know you need to get going. You said, do you have any final thoughts about anything at all? Just whatever. Doesn't matter.
No.
Well, you know what? Hold on a second. One second, Steffa, because and thank you, Cordy, for doing that. But I'll get to that donation in just a second. It was so funny because yesterday, and I have. Oops. Why is it playing double almost? There's that boy. Hey, Cordy. Well, boy or girl. We're still indecisive. Well, I'm still saying that you're male, but Cordy, it's just so funny though, because there was so many times I meant to say, Cordy, like, I haven't seen, like, Isaiah, if you're stalking somewhere here too, buddy. Isaiah's a good person that's been following for a long time. He was a police officer for 5 years, and farm boy and whatever, and Cordy. So I told myself yesterday, don't forget to give a little thing to Cordy or whatever, because I don't know if Cordy's still watching us or not, or comes around, or I'm not really sure. But I was like, don't forget to say Isaiah and Cordy to myself, and I totally forget until, of course, whatever. But I've thought about you many times, and it's just on the live, I've just totally forgotten to say it, because I'm getting old. The brain's like, it remembers that I'm off the live, Cordy. So I was just literally thinking about you again yesterday and going, I'm going to give a shout out to Cordy. And I would have forgotten again, because I know Cordy was always in here. I don't know if Cordy's still around. And I do get worried when you know that people are around, but then by the same token, you also know that people come and go. And so I just find that, okay, call me psychic. Okay, I'm just gonna take credit for it, because it's just so funny how Cordy did that. And all of a sudden, I was literally just thinking about it yesterday to say, hey, Cordy, like, are you still out there, dude? If you are, hey, So going back to your super chat, bless you. Thank you so much. And Tom Webster as well for the $20 one earlier today. Cordy, it's truly nice to see you, regardless, because like I said, I don't know where you're hiding, or if you've been hiding and still see the lives and stuff like that. But yeah, you've come across my mind many of times, actually. So I'm glad that you're okay, and obviously you are. And I have always loved the name Cordy, because always when I would make a password, it'd be like Cordy 1, 2, 3, Cordy, because it was just easy, right? Cordy. But anyways, Cordy, thank you for letting us know that you're here. Okay, sorry, Steffa. I was going to say to you that you probably got to get going. If there's any projects that you're working on next, anything that you want to say, and I love you very much. Thank you for joining us on here tonight. Thank you for doing that live. I am going to go listen to it in bed tonight, so I can fully take in what they had said.
Right. I like to listen to it in bed as well.
Yeah, I like to do other things in bed too, but
I don't even do that anymore, so I don't. I miss it, kind of. Well, not really. I'm good.
What do you miss?
I said I don't have relations anymore. Like,
that's why we need to have that dating channel stuff.
I told you.
Know. I gotta get one of we need to do that.
The dating channel.
The dating channel. To open up the pool.
Right? And all you lonely suckers out there in the world, we'll match you up, right, Adam? Yeah. Well, come on.
Yeah. And
anyone close near stuff need a stuff in their life, taking applications.
Yeah, Ron Logan passed, so my life, things have changed here. Sorry, God.
For a lot of women in the area.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was great that you did a live. It's been a while. You're at 700 and something subs and stuff like that. I'll make sure I
know it happened really fast, because I was like, remember when I was at 666 and I was like, somebody either unsub or sub, because I don't want to. And then it was just like, well, it was when I did this live that people came on. But I think I'm going to do a live like on electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. And then on ketamine therapy.
Nice.
Ketamine, you know?
Yeah.
You probably don't know what that is, do you, Sonny? It's like psychedelic. Well, it's a horse tranquilizer, but it not horse, but animal tranquilizer. But people with depression and stuff, it helps them get better, whatever. But it's interesting stuff, and I don't know. But that's what I'll go with. I think you all are fantastic. I love you guys.
Wow.
Send me 11 light. Okay.
Yeah.
I just dropped your link, Steph.
I'll be watching my Taco Bell.
Oh,
Okay.
Steph, I'm not a mod in your channel, by the way.
Oh,
You're not?
yeah. All you have to do is go back to the live and just hit. You know how to do it.
No, I don't. I don't know how to do it unless it's live. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to.
Don't worry. I'm just playing with you. Don't worry about it.
But I need to do that because I want you to be able to drop your channel link.
Yeah. All you have to do is all you need to do is go back to the live where he spoke, and if you can find it. When he came in, and then you can literally just hit add as moderator.
As if like he's like I'm in a live chat.
Yeah, no, like when your video ends and then it takes a couple hours and then it goes into the live chat. I mean, you can wait till next time, but all you do need to do is just go into that live. And
I'm just kidding. Not a very good mod.
I'm gonna make you.
He sucks as a mod. Forget it. Actually, what are you going on about? This is no. He didn't even mod me the first freaking time I was in his. So right. So yeah, calling a spade a spade. Hey,
go get your Taco Bell.
Go get your Taco Bell. Okay.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. QWERTY, I just want to honor QWERTY and show that video if we don't mind. QWERTY, Adam's relative in the aquatic world. We just wanted to show you what twinsies really truly look like. Right, Adam?
Right. And then I'll answer an actual true crime question.
Okay. Let's go to the start. Adam, could you just unveil your hat? What's underneath? Isn't that the most? Look how human. Okay, hold on. Look how human that thing looks. Like I said, that looks like Kagan Klein trying to get at a Twinkie. Won't get out of the way. Kagan Klein's been going on about the brain tumor and stuff like that, and whatever. All I know is that thing is eerie to look at. That is weird. That's like half humanoid, half freaking fish. Don't you agree?
Kind of looks like some of those Real Housewives.
Or those. And I'm not even kidding. Okay. That's what you got for the $100 there.
Or you remember that movie Mask?
Yes. You know what? Hold on. Thank you. Because that's truly, I said The Elephant Man, but Mask. Because I love that movie. It was with Cher, and it was with that redhead guy, and he had the deformed face. I love that movie. I'll never forget it. And I think it was called, shoot, because the same title was the name of a song. But anyways, that's exactly actually what that reminded me of, was the movie The Mask. Yeah, good movie way back when. Yeah, it's a very sad movie, but a good movie. Yeah. Okay,
see through.
Answer that.
See through. I've been following that relatively closely, and for anyone that doesn't know, Portuguese authorities have started searching for Madeline McCann again. They received what they've said was a incredibly credible tip from German detectives based on a source with evidence. And so they have started searching for Madeline McCann in this reservoir, I think about 30 or 40 minutes outside of the area she went missing from. And I think it's, I don't know if they searched today, but they had searched Thursday and Friday of this week. And they were seen taking evidence bags away. I think it was of sample soils. But I hope that they find something. I mean, I think it's probably the best lead they've had in years. And I hope that it I hope that something comes of it, because, I mean, it's been 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like, that was kind of like out of the blue, eh? like that girl that's trying to claim that she's Maddie, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, she comes and goes, right? But
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're doing like a search. That just was like weird timing, to be honest. How someone kind of come out of the woodwork, and then that happens.
I mean, and
You
they've
know?
had that. They've had the guy, that German guy in custody for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is disgusting. I think he personally is the guy.
I think so too, actually.
But I hope they are able to recover her remains and find her, for her family's sake.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I saw
Well,
an interview recently with her sister, which, who was an infant at the time, and I mean, she's a teenager now. So I mean, that was weird to see, her little baby. She had the twin siblings, and they're in high school now.
I wasn't planning on this for being a 3-hour live, but
I know.
we need to move on just quickly to Delphi.
Yeah.
But I do want to cover Delphi. Like, I do want to cover this conversation, Adam, in like a separate live, like more so in depthly, because I've really wanted to talk about the whole Ali, the Ali Conklin and Kagan Klein podcast that Murder Sheets did, and because. But I want to break it down almost like the questions for questions, because like there was some things that she like had said there. Like, for instance, one of the things that she had said was that that Kagan had only spoke about Delphi once. Okay, now I know that there's people that are gonna think that in that podcast, which I personally don't, Ali. I can't see Kagan at all telling Ali, yeah, like I was supposed to meet that girl. To me, that came from knowledge of the interview, through the social media. I believe absolutely no way Kagan's going to sit there and say, hey, yeah, Ali, because Ali said she had a conversation with him once, that only one time it was brought up. And that was basically to say that he still can't believe like that somebody's actually walking around that hasn't been caught yet, something like that. That's the only thing that she said that was talked about with the Delphi. Like I said, I can't see Kagan. Like I said, like, I mean, they were going out when he was obviously charged, because that's where the police broke in and stuff like that. Ali said that he was very protective of his phone. And that's why I understand it. So Ali thinks that Kagan Klein's like cheating on her. I could care less of Kagan Klein, but love is love sometimes, like, doesn't matter if you're a, beast or not or whatever. Some people find love in all those places. And Ali obviously, was having a relationship with Kagan. I don't believe that he had multiple girlfriends, though, that he was so used to getting all this rejection from females. But anyway, so Ali admitted that she had like insecurity issues, so that she caused a lot of the fighting because of her jealousy issues. And it was one of those things is that when really what he was trying to hide was what he was doing, hence why he was very protective. And this is just in my opinion, hence why he was very protective of the phone. Now, they asked Ali if, he was protective of his Xbox or any other devices or whatever. But then she said she wasn't into Xbox or the computer, so she didn't really pay attention to that or whatever. But his phone, the only time that she could see his phone or hold his phone is if he was like right there. And she had said that when he was sleeping, that she came across the Dropbox, but the only thing that she saw right away was a friend's name that stood out to her. And obviously she's sneaking doing it. So basically she sees that and now she's fuming, whichever, but she doesn't go into the Dropbox. And unfortunately she didn't, but then she would have seen like tons of obviously CP on there. I like to listen to everything but pop, country, and R&B. and R&B. But go ahead, Adam.
That is one of the questions because when I had written out questions when I spoke to Kevin and Anya from the Murder Sheet, was that earlier this week? I only got through like half my questions because you want to be prepared, and so I was like, I'm gonna need to fill up space, and then I didn't get through half my questions. But one of the questions that I did not ask them that I really wish that I had was about the Dropbox, and I really wish I had spent a little bit of time talking about what Ali said about Dropbox and just in general with Kagan and the Dropbox.
Well, hopefully you can get them back on, your channel there, and do a part 2 or something like that for sure. So yeah, because I think it's like they put the questions to her and then she answered them back, and that's the part that sucks, because it's like, I think that it's almost like it was coming back in typing form, and so the answers can be very short, because obviously if you're talking to someone, they can explain it a lot longer versus if here's my questions that I'm asking you, there's your answer, and then they're doing it like a read, is how it came across to me, how they do it. It's like, here's the questions, types back, and that's why some of the questions are just dinky, whereas if we're talking about it, it's a lot longer, but no one really wants to be sitting there doing this forever, on an answer. So it's kind of like, did you meet his grandparents? And it's just like, yes, a couple times, so but it was one of those things that she also said that, to everyone else he was nice, but once he felt comfortable, which is true, that's when it was basically demeaning her, using control type of idea, and then the push pull narcissistic thing going on. I can't think of all the questions because they were kind of like back to back to back to back, and I was trying to listen to it when I got out of the shower and had there, but once the blow dryer went on, I had to turn it back off. But I really want to go into it with like the bigger scope of writing down those questions and the responses, and then coming back to do a live about it.
That'd be great.
Well, one of the things that always bugged me going over to the Rick Snee part, was okay. The thing is that, again, like, nothing against Rick Snee, because this is more to do with Tony. Tony's not going to sit there and, pull out all of his demons and tell somebody that he barely knows everything. He might have what feels like a heart-to-heart talk and stuff like that, but like anyone, no one likes to shame their own self. So knowing that what we know from the
Sonny, a lot of people have opened them. A lot of people have spilled their deepest, darkest secrets to us that have just met us.
I know. All my life I always get told, "Oh, I never planned on telling you that." Like, I'm not sure how you did it, but whatever. And I think it's just because, when people, like I said, when you're talking to them and they feel that comfort zone, and like, I just do me, right? But when I'm talking to somebody, I don't like a conversation to be like, well, here's a question, answer. Here's a question, answer type of thing. I just want it to be, like I said, organic, and that is just natural flowing. But so it's just like, to me, like that natural, sometimes that warmth happens where people just open up to you because they feel your sincerity and your warmth. The smart ones will recognize that. Okay. The dumb ones won't, obviously. But so for me, I love people's stories. I really do. I find them very interesting. And so so with Tony, right? He's basically saying, like, anyone that does that with child and blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I got a knot in my hair. Anyone that does that with child should, like death penalty and blah, 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 da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure that all those stories about you can't be wrong. It's like when you're pointing one finger, three are pointing back, and there's pretty much more than three fingers pointing back at Tony and that whole thing. So that, of course, to me is like crap. And I think at the end of the day too, like, and this is just the gist of it, But when you listen to what Allie's saying, and you know what, my heart goes out to her, honestly, because in this world, we try to deem people as being honest and truthful to us. Little does she know that, you know, someone either meets an SK or they meet someone that's very deceptive and stuff like that. So like Allie said, she said in the whole time she was with Kagan, because first she lived like with at his mom's house. They lived at his mom's house, and then they moved into that apartment or whatever in Kokomo. And she had never seen a seizure, never heard anything about this brain tumor he supposedly had. Kagan Klein is an absolute effing liar. Okay. Bottom line, he's no better than Garrett Kurtz or, you know, those ones. Like Garrett Kurtz, same thing. To be honest with you, I think Garrett Kurtz is actually dumbly more actual truthful than Kagan Klein. Kagan Klein is the poor me syndrome narcissist. And pretty much everything that kind of comes out of his mouth for the most part, you know, you don't even believe it. Like I said, he's the one that came up with the whole red truck story and stuff like that, or the red Jeep story. And, you know, for me personally, no offense to anyone that believed in that story, but to me, that was the dumbest story I ever listened to. Snee is a bartender, right? I don't know. I think he has a job. I don't watch him, so. No, he met, Snee is a bartender, right? Maybe that's how they met. Well, Diana, if you're talking about Rick Snee to Kagan, Tony Klein, sorry. If you're talking about that, so there was a friend on Tony Klein's Facebook or something like that. And so apparently, I think to Rick Snee, he reached out to that friend. So, you know, to basically hopefully get into the circle of Tony Klein. And then it happened, basically. So basically, because of that friend that Rick Snee knew, that's how he kind of got in with talking with Tony Klein. And so then they, whatever, seemed to get this relationship, of course. Now, how honest and true it is, who knows? I don't know Rick Snee. I thought that in the murder sheets, because I don't really know much about Rick Snee, okay? At the end of the day, he has a really weird laugh, okay? Like a very heckling type of laugh. He just kind of came off to me as weird a bit, right? But when I was listening to him on Murder Sheets, now I came across that Rick Snee, you know, he sounded very intellectual. He sounded, you know, he was answering the questions. Do you know what I mean? It came off like a very good interview. There was no weird laughs going on, really, and stuff like that. So you know who he reminds me of a little bit, guys? He reminds me a little bit of Popeye, the Sailor Man. You know, like that little side laugh thing going on there, like a Popeye. But that's kind of probably, I think, what he reminds me of now that I think about it. But anyway, so when I was listening to the Murder Sheets, now, again, I think that Tony, like Kagan Klein, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I think that Tony Klein, like I said, like he's going to give answers because he's not going to try to shame himself, really. You know, but I think with Kagan Klein, I don't know which one's the biggest liar because I don't know Tony Klein, but with Kagan Klein, you know, like Ali said, like, you know, when they asked, like, what stuff don't you believe? And she's like, well, the brain tumor, you know, the epilepsies and stuff like that. I don't believe that crap either, to be honest. And Kagan Klein drove, even though he didn't have a driver's license, he drove. His Las Vegas and neighbor that lived in the house beside him, Kirk Hayes, had already confirmed that anyways. And not only that, but the story that Allie told, which was from, you're welcome, Diana. The story that Allie said was that Kagan Klein said that he was the poor victim yet again. That Dirk Hayes screwed him over and blah. No, okay. So who moved away? Was it Dirk Hayes or was it Kagan Klein that said that he went back because of his grandpa being, you know, ill or whatever? Right? Who was the one that didn't have a job, and who was the one that was getting money from his daddy, you know, to buy, you know, pay for his rent and stuff like that? So who are you going to believe, Dirk Hayes or Kagan Klein? So unfortunately for Ellie, right? Again, she's with a total absolute liar, somebody that's basically created this world of being false, really, hiding himself behind a mask, pretending to be something he's not, because he only wishes he could be a freaking Anthony Shots account, right? Vincent Kowalski is that guy's name for the Anthony Shots, the copper. Okay, he only wishes he could be that, but he's not, and he knows it, right? Again, he obviously has hate issues like, Bryan Kohberger going on there. But, so Kagan tells Allie that it was Dark that screwed him over. Okay, dude, all you have to do is look exactly how your life was going to know who was actually the one that's full of crap. So Allie was, you could tell, totally, just liking on some guy, and hopefully he's being truthful. But really, when she looks back at it now, right, she can go, I was pretty much lied to about everything, really. MTV premieres and wow, a whole new world. MTV. I remember MTV back in the day. I miss MTV, or at least when it was music. I remember MTV. Anyways, at least in Quebec over there or whatever, because there was these two French people doing it. But anyways, so when it comes to Kagan Klein, and his whole thing of talking to Murder Sheets in the interview that he just did, Kagan Klein, so Murder Sheets did an interview with him. And obviously, he wanted to know when it airs. So we asked somebody, well, tell me when it airs, type of thing. Because the reason why Kagan Klein, spoke to Murder Sheets is because now Kagan Klein, whatever, he needed them. And he wanted the best access to somebody that he could get. And Murder Sheets is that, because Murder Sheets is on TV shows now and all that stuff to do with Delphi, and people are sending Murder Sheets in information, stuff like that. In a sense, it's like, who's Murder Sheets when they came in? Next thing you know, Murder Sheets. So Murder Sheets pretty much has the run of Delphi when it comes to people handing over information. And because you have a lawyer and you have, Adam, are you still alive? Just asking.
Yep.
Okay. And because Murder Sheets, Kevin is a lawyer and Anya a journalist, right? I mean, that's like the perfect mix right there, to be honest with you. And so, of course, so he wanted a voice. That's why he wasn't asking to charge money and stuff like that this time, because Kagan wanted a voice. He wanted to know about the Ali Conklin interview and about his dad. He wanted information, and he wanted to portray his, information out there. And so again, when it benefits him, he wasn't so busy asking for money, was he? Anyways, right? Don't you agree, Adam, on that part?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
So, like I said, I want to do a whole live on that, but that was just kind of like parts of that podcast, that sticks out in my head. There is more, but that sticks out in my head. So in saying that, Adam, knowing that Kagan is literally 90% liar at least, is pretty much how he comes across. Like he's pretty much 90 to 95 level, full of crap. What do you think about that interview with Kagan Klein? Like, do you believe?
You mean the murder shots with Kagan Klein? No, I believe that.
Like, do you think because he used them that he that the narrative was he was more being truthful?
No. I think that Keegan is it's difficult because I think there were aspects of truth probably in what he said. But I have trouble even understanding the depth of Keegan's lies and how good he is at manipulating people. Because I mean, we know that there's a ton of stuff that I've heard from Keegan that isn't public, and he's a complex, weird dude. And there are times that I feel. No, I don't feel compassion for him. There's times that I feel like he's just so lost, and there are other times that I'm like, this monster is, So I think he is resourceful, and I think he's manipulative, and I think he was trying to use Murder Sheet.
Yeah.
I think he also is very. I think he's also very cognitive of attention. And I think that he knows as long as he is tied to Delphi, he remains relevant to people. And without Delphi, Kagan Klein is not relevant to anyone, even his dad.
Well, look at Chris Watts there, right? It's
So,
like,
if you think about it, I mean, if Kagan Klein doesn't throw out a carrot with Delphi every once in a while, why would anyone care about him?
Yeah.
Then he just goes to jail, a 400-pound pedophile with no money on his chirps, no money on his canteen, and no family, and no one talking to him.
Yeah. This is going to be off trail for a second, but it's only because you use the word carrots. And Shelley, if you're listening, or Mustang, you as well. So Ray Jones, usually each day in a live, he is asking me if I'm pushing the P. Sonny, were you pushing the P today? Okay. So I told my husband I wanted some P. You know what my husband said to me? Okay. Now, he was at work when I said it, but it was through text. He said, there's carrots in the fridge. That's what he said, Adam.
You told me that.
Yeah. That was an FYI. Okay. Shelley? Okay. And I was just like, thanks, honey. So Ray, no pushing the P today. Instead, my husband offered up carrots. At least for now. Anyway. Okay. So the fact that he was disassociating himself, you're welcome, Shelley. That was specifically for you about the carrots and Ray, to be honest with you, because it was a combo thing going on. Cordy, that's still part of your $100 donation. Any of those little special treats like that FYI stuff. And I'm so glad that obviously you're alive and you didn't get boomed up in your job that you do. So that's good to know. So with Kagan Klein, like I said, he detached himself from saying, like, he doesn't think that he's PEDO. Okay. He doesn't think he's a pedo. And please listen to that song so I don't have to say it in chat. I have listened to the song, Pushing the P. Well, I mean, there was a couple of them called Pushing the P, to be honest with you. But anyway, you keep asking me. I went to that song when you put it in a thing in the chat on a video. But yeah, so like he's totally disassociated himself because in his world, his brain, which is immature, he doesn't think he did anything really wrong. He thinks, like, honestly, like out of all those charges, he's like, yeah, I think I'm guilty of about 7. Like STFU, right? Sure, dude. Okay, right. Let me just take 1. Actually, you already had 5 taken off. Let's just take off those 5 and call it even then. So don't give me that crap about 7 that you only feel like you did. You literally, legitly aren't even acknowledging the fact of what you are and what you've done. And that's the title that goes along with it. Simple as that. You do the crime, you do the time, you break the law, and you get a label like that. And yeah, those people don't do too healthy. I mean, you're doing pretty healthy right now. What?
I said, yeah, no, they don't.
No, they don't. No, they don't. He's going to be pushing some people. But anyway, so, I mean, bottom line is...
I don't think he has to worry about that. I don't think anyone's going to be...
No.
I don't think anyone's going to be... no one's going to be around him if he drops that soap.
You know what? I agree with Alexa. I think it was that said it. I believe that... I mean, he looks like one of those people that doesn't bathe too often. I'm sorry. He does. He doesn't look like one of the... You know what? Come on. I know his type, man. Those people don't freaking shower too often, I'm sure. They just sit there in their bedroom with their fridge, with their freaking devices, doing their little spanky wanky stuff. And I can't, like, when I see Kagan Klein, I see smelly dude. Um,
Right.
Just calling a spade, but I don't know if it's fact, you know.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't showered in 2 days, but I don't.
I showered today.
But I don't stink.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, if I'm doing something and I smell my pits or something like that, you know, which I rarely don't, but it's been very kind of muggy and hot. So I've never been one of those smelly people that, you know, very lightly, right? Like, so I was like, today, I was like, yeah, I did something and I was like, that's a little bit right. Pull out the good old secret there, but no. But I don't really have, like, I don't have sweat gland issue problems like some people do. Kagan Klein totally looks to me like he does. If you can smell him, you waited too long. No, it's not that I waited too long. It's just because it's really like this weather that we got going on in Vancouver. It hates my skin, first of all. Okay. Because this is that wake up in the morning and there's a freaking whitehead that come out of nowhere, kind of what I call the wake up water zits, I call them. You know, it's like I have oily skin, and then when it's hot and muggy, you know, type of thing, this kind of weather usually hates my hair, first of all, but it's gotten used to it, and it hates my skin. In Alberta, you don't have that problem because it's a drier air up there. So I never have issues, but no, Ray, trust me. I don't really, like I said, have a big sweat smell to me, but it's kind of one of those things, you know, it's very rare that I actually do it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't have issues that.
Yeah, I know. It's hard when you're perfect. Yeah. It's very hard when you're perfect.
I used to have a roommate. She if she didn't wash, like, she had to wash her hair like every single day, and if she didn't, like, you could like almost smell the oil.
Oh.
And it was like.
Yeah.
Like
so.
And I'm such a nice roommate. I would always be like, "Oh, wash your nasty hair."
You know, the thing with me, Adam, is that every day my hair is oily typically as well. And I mean, because I have oily skin and stuff like that, all I have to do, like, I do this a lot. Okay. So because I do that a lot throughout the day with my hair, because it's just kind of like you're hot and you're just like,
Yeah.
But anyways, so by the time the morning comes, like, I look like I don't want to say I look that bad, but I feel like a grease monkey the next day. So my twin, Tom, for another, let's just up the ante for $30. For $30 this time, Tom, and it must have my name included in the super chat. You know, we'll acknowledge you.
We won't ask why Tom had WD-40 on hand.
Yeah. Okay. Fine, Tom. This is a free one. Okay, that's free. Since we're not on topic. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, right. We did go off topic, didn't we, Tom? My recliner has been squeaking for a year, and I finally just multitask and use WD-40.
We are on topic. We were talking about Kagan Klein showering. We are on topic.
It's I mean, bravo. Like, seriously. Now, do you want to get into a little bit deeper conversation? So I just want to know, do you have pictures or not of your ass cheeks that have been embedded into that reclining chair? That would be a little bit more special than the WD-40 story, but it was still a good one. All thanks to its crummy shape. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I love Tom. You know, like I said, once you got to know that he has dry humor, and that once you understand his humor, like once you understand like the personality behind the person, you know, on there, now it's like, okay, I get his jokes. It was just because I was going through that rough period where it seemed like all these loser channels at the bottom dwellers were attacking, and I'm like, oh, Tom, not you too. When he called me like unsunny, unjustice sunny, or what was it, cloudy injustice or something like that. Cloudy injustice.
Injustice.
Yeah. And I was just like, dude, but I actually like watching you. Now I'm not sure how I feel anymore. You know,
I don't think you called me Adam Glampert in forever.
I don't think he's called you Adam Glampert either. Yeah. Uh-huh. I had a cover on the chair. Yeah. Well, plus, you know, if you ate Twinkies, Tom, like Kagan does, all right, you would definitely get some embedded divots right there. Cloudy injustice. Oh, cloudy injustice. Okay. I can't think of that stupid.
Now I'm just picturing Tom in a chair with a cover and WD-40.
Mustang. Just Google it. Google, just put in vampire deodorant. Google it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, but yeah. Well, we're at the 3 hour. Tom, did you have a nap? Just be honest. Did you have a nap during this live and then came back and was like, yeah, just as I thought, back off topic as usual?
Hey guys, 5 more minutes.
Yeah. You tired, Adam? Do you have to work tomorrow?
What?
Do you have to work tomorrow?
I do work, but
well,
I was trying to think of I was trying to think of what Tom would say.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, 5 more minutes. Yeah.
You guys, 5 more minutes.
Yeah, Tom, I don't know if you could just give us some insight, because obviously we lack the viewers anymore when it comes to it's because we don't do as much lives on the stuff. You know, we gotta come on back, Delphi people. Well, the ones that I offended, the ones, whatever, they can stay away still, but whatever. I had an hour nap. Okay, yeah, I know I had one too, but I was just wondering if there's a lot of people, okay, Tom, all right, there's a lot of people. I remember, and I specifically will use Greeno as my my source here. When he was trying to diss me and I was in his chat, and I usually didn't go in the chat, but I went in the chat, and then he played this video of me that I did of him. That's what I was kind of like, you know, want show proof. But anyways,
was this before he went to jail? The last time?
Yeah, okay. Before he went to jail. This was like near the start, really. But anyways, but the people in the chat kept saying, Tom, that she can read me a bedtime story anytime, her voice, you know, and you know, and I'm like, hey, whatever works. So I'm just wondering, Tom, if when you're listening to me, is it like a scratching screech, or is it more like a lullaby? I had an hour nap, and I took that nap, Tom, and I woke up at 5:30. And Stepha's live started at 5, and it was, I think, 3 o'clock. But that's because I hadn't really slept the night before. Oh, actually, I didn't sleep at all now that I think about it. Never did go to sleep yesterday. Until that nap. Now that I slept for a couple hours, that was about it. And even then, I couldn't really sleep because the sun is like literally shining in my face. And I told you earlier, Sunday, I've watched this entire 3 hours and 13 minutes. Hey, wait, it says 3 hours and 7 minutes. You just got in here a little earlier. Oh, I usually watch on replay at 2 times. Oh, so is that when Adam's like going, like, yeah?
Yeah. It's
and
me,
you pick that all up, right? Because 1.5 is hard enough as it is. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Adam, my little Nicola Bully video that I put out, which I didn't think was, you know, like much, but on the, just you guys, if you guys follow Nicola Bully with me, the Nicola Bully. So Curtis Media, I put out a video because now his 3 months is over, so he could talk about it. But anyways, so now like it literally just ended. So when he was there, I was like, okay, there's like no way. There's no way in these shallow little depths throughout that river wire. Like, do you know what I mean, Adam? You know when you're walking in the water and and it's like rocks that are like coming up above the water because that's how shallow it is. And I'm like, and the water was low. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, Adam, it's a little freaking slow. And I'm just like, I don't get it. There's no way.
So, yeah.
No way. Like he was showing.
How does her puffer jacket sink? Sorry.
Right. Well, not only that. Okay. There's people that are looking for her, right? This whole time, whether they're.
Less like an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
But you know what I mean? Like throughout the days going on, there's all these, true crime sleuth. There's these regular people there, which I've seen many videos that people have out there that are at the River Wire, and they're showing all these people like how, okay. There's mega big spots, especially where that bridge is and stuff. Okay, how would nobody see this freaking puffer jacket body, that's taking a walk through that area?
Kneeling puffer jacket.
Yeah. And when they threw the stick in, it didn't even move. It didn't even move. And you guys know that the day that Nicola Bully disappeared, that water, that stuff is just stagnant. It's almost like a mosquito's heaven right there. Okay, it's barely moving. The stick that they even threw in there, stick is light and whatever. Okay, it wasn't even floating away. Like it literally. So I'm just going, okay, I agree. Like, honestly, after I'm watching it, I'm just like, no, this doesn't make sense to me. How can you have these little things that you would literally have to freaking pull yourself over almost just to get through that water, because it's like ankle deep basically in certain spots and stuff like that. And then I'm thinking, and then that piece of wood's not even moving. And I'm just like, no, there's something wrong here. How could nobody find her?
I think she had to have gone in. We can talk about it on a Nicola Bully stream, but I think she would have had to have gone over the stile and in somewhere else. I'm not saying I'm just thinking she had to have gone in that water somewhere else.
Yeah. Or it was a third party, one of the two, right? Okay, so like a lot of people think that's third party, that she was placed in after, because honestly, you guys, it's one of those things. I didn't really entertain that overly too much about the whole third party thing and stuff like that. But when you just kind of look at it, I'm trying to stay within still the realm of reality, but this crazy stuff does happen out there. But when you look at the water, like, how did all these searchers that were searching for weeks and all these other people not see this body that's in this low, shallow part? So did everyone miss her every time it was in a deep spot? Poof, not buying it. But anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, my little video. Hold on. Where is it? My little video, even though it's showing 5,757 views, and that was from 6 hours ago now. Oh, I got to get to some of the comments. It's really got about 7,000 or 8,000 views to it, to be honest with you, because usually what happens is what you see what you see in the video. It's just because it hasn't updated usually, and I'll see the actual number. But so I think at some point I was looking at it and it was like 4,000 or 5,001K views, but in the thing it was showing like 3,000 something. And I'm like, you look at the video and stuff like that. Anyways, Old Spice.
How scary that Ray and I used to. I think Ray and I used the same bear glove.
So one more time. So no, seriously, I looked away when you did that. Old Spice. Yeah,
bear glove.
I don't know what that one smells like. I mean, Old Spice is that generic old thing that's been around forever and a frigging day. Now, I've never heard of Bear Love personally. Don't know what it smells like.
Bear glove.
Yeah, Bear Glove. Anyways, yeah.
Bear Love would be a whole different thing.
Yeah. No, wait. Adam is past twink glove. Adam is past his twink glove years.
You wish.
I don't even know.
It's true.
What's twink glove mean?
Twink.
Twinkie?
Yeah.
Twink glove?
I was a twink when I was in my 20s.
What's a twink?
It's like a young gay guy.
Is that what that means? A twink? Adam is past his twink glove years. Is that what you guys call it? Tom, do you want to play the matching game right now? Here on It's a Crime and Shame?
No. We need to go because it's 3 hours and 13 minutes and I'm tired.
3 hours and 14 minutes. All right,
14.
fine.
Oh, okay, I like the captain as well.
All right, fine, you guys. I might do a live sometime on the weekend. Probably will, but it probably will with Nicola Bully, to be honest with you. I got to hit those UK people up. They're the ones that, oh, Jeff. Okay. I want to ask Jeff one question. Hey, Jeff, I seen you in the Drunk Turkey show the other day. Was that you that called in? Because was that you that called in and was telling your theory? That Roberta letter is not what you write. Right. I know. I was just curious if that was you, because I remember Daniel saying, "Oh, well, thanks for calling in, Jeff." And I'm like, "Well, I just seen you in chat, so I could picture you picking up the phone and calling up and."
Good night, Tom.
Oh, it was that Jeff. Look at this, Daniel just pops out of the blue there.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel. But yeah, so. Only because, like I said, I mean, Jeff's a really nice guy. He was on our show once, and I thought to myself, I wonder if that's the same Jeff that's calling in on there. Now, of course, there was a couple things in there because Jeff was giving his, reasoning or what his thoughts were, but I wasn't really going for the. No, I did. Sorry, Jeff. I actually wasn't buying your theory about the dog thing, to be honest with you. But you know what? I want to say that it was at least kind of like a thought, like a logical thought. Mm-hmm. But as fast as I heard it as well, I was like, I wasn't going with the whole dog thing. I don't believe he was in the house, like already. I think you were saying that. Wait, what are you guys talking about? You can go. I got a couple people talking to me. So you go at it. What are you guys laughing at? Are you guys talking about your WD-40 stuff still? I'm on a whole different topic here. Adam, what are you guys laughing at? Are you laughing at?
I was laughing at Tom saying, Deb, haven't seen you in a few hours. Were you WD-40ing your recliner or bed?
On there. So, I think, Deb, I'm ADHD. I haven't seen you in a few hours. Or you? Okay, now I see it. But and Jess, Shelley has an E in it. I kind of lean towards the thought that Bryan only dealt with one victim at a time. Yeah, I heard. I don't want to lie and say I heard like the full story, but I heard like 3/4 of it, I believe. I'm pretty sure I was tired when I was listening to it. And so the one person theory. See, Adam, go have a good night first. Good night. I got it.
Well, I mean, I can wait another few minutes.
No. I don't want you to force it. No. But okay. So in my head, I feel like Bryan Kohberger came in from the back through the doors, that he went upstairs. I believe you said that you didn't think that he went into the room, or somebody, either it was Daniel or you, that said something about like because the dog was in the room and the dog probably would have started barking. Oh, it must have been Daniel, because Daniel made reference to the 4:17 time about the dog barking. So he thought, well, the dog probably would have barked, if he went to Kaylee's room first, because the dog was in there. But I still kind of think that he did go to Kaylee's room first, and that the dog was probably in Madison's room, because he was with Kaylee in that, because that's how usually dogs are. They just follow you around. So I think it was one of those things that in the throes of, next thing you know, there's two people. And Daniel, I'm not sure if you kind of heard what we were talking about earlier when we felt, when I was basically saying about, Kaylee was really into true crime. And perhaps maybe that's where the association came along. I still feel it's about Kaylee myself, right? This is just my thoughts, that it was about Kaylee, that she was the target. I think the sheath, I think it was one of those things that, like me and Adam were talking about, that Bryan knew that he had been around there like 12 or 13 times, whatever it was. So he was basically planning this thing towards Kaylee. And he knew that was his last chance. chance because Kaylee had moved out a few weeks before, right? So he knew that that was his last chance, that was the day that he was going to do it on, because I mean, you can't freaking take away all those 12 or 13 trips that you did, scoping out the house and where people were going to be. So whether or not Ethan was there was a whole different story. Bottom line is that was going to happen that day to me because of Kaylee. Now, I feel myself there, Jeff, or how I see it and visualize it in my head. I do feel like that Maddie and Kaylee are in the room, and the reason why the sheath is left there is because, now he's tackling too, right? You're not going to be like, oh, pin you down, pin you down. You're going to have two people that are like, because he wasn't expecting, perhaps, because nothing ever goes as planned. But I think that the sheath got left there, that in the throes of the struggle or whatever was going on in there, that's how that sheath got left there, perhaps. And then I'm not going to get into the whole thing on this live about that Dylan came out and heard voices and this and that and blah, 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 blah. I do feel like that because, what's her face? What's her name? Zaina. Because Zaina was the one that was found in the hallway, according to the affidavit. It wasn't Ethan, it was Zaina, even though I believe we heard it was Ethan at first. So I believe that Zaina was in the doorway, Ethan was in the bed, hence why all that blood is trickling down outside of the house out there. So I believe that that he saw Zaina, because the Jack in the Box is in the kitchen or whatever. Who knows? Maybe she was coming back out. Maybe she heard a noise herself, whatever. And I think that she did go back, that he saw her. And then he was like, oh, for fuck's sakes, type of thing. I don't know. That's just kind of what I've always pictured in my head. And that basically, she headed back to the bedroom. Of course, Ryan Kohberger caught up with her, probably, stabbed her a few times over there, and then Ethan there, I don't know, Ethan's probably asleep, but by this time, whether or not Zaina is actually dead at this time, so Ethan's a big boy or whatever. I feel like they were collateral damage. I do. I really do. I think that the intent was for a specific person, but it just so happened that, and it might have been even both of them, but I think that because Kaylee was in the room with Maddie, well, two of them have to go. I really don't think that night went exactly as planned. If not, that sheath would not be there, I'm sure, to this day. But what I have a hard time with, and then, okay, I think that Dylan saw him, and I believe almost like that one guy that put out the video that said, hey, Dylan heard something, but she just thought it was somebody in the house. So when she opened up the door, and I could be totally wrong here, and that it was just like, somebody's in the house, like shut the F up type of thing, and closed her door, locked it, and went back to sleep. That does seem like it makes sense to me. I could be totally wrong. My issue is what took from when they learned about it to that 12 o'clock time. What were they doing? What were they covering up, if anything? Because there's something missing in the whole scenario. And hopefully one day we will come out, or it will come about. I picture Ethan in the bathroom. Well, the thing is that in the affidavit, if I'm not mistaken, Ethan was in the bed, like in the bedroom, like meaning he wasn't in the bathroom. Unless you're just kind of like picturing, I can't see that, to be honest with you. I see Zana.
I believe that Ethan was found in the bed.
Yes,
but that's my opinion. I don't know that.
Well, hence the blood coming down outside of the back wall. I don't think that Kaylee took the dog out. Myself, like I don't think that it was anything about, hey, let's take the dog out and da. Like this is a very tight timeline here.
Yeah.
Brian,
yeah, if he could have been thrown onto the bed.
Could have. You know what though? Ethan's a bigger boy than Psycho Boy there, but who knows? He could have been thrown onto the bed, like meaning when let's just say Zaina was getting attacked, and then Ethan like is jumping out of the bed, going like, "What the frick?" And then Brian has to go for him and pushes him back on the bed and starts going to town and stuff like that. Oh God, I hate doing visuals, you guys, but I'm a hand person, and so that's why I'm doing that because I always talk with my hands. But anyways, I don't know the Muffin Man. I know the Twinkie Man. And his name is Kagan Klein. Jeff said, okay, basic notion was That what? What'd you say?
I'll take some muffins.
Yeah, I'll take some muffins too. I love muffins.
Yeah, I agree, Deb. I think Ethan was caught by surprise. But
And Zena from the bathroom being stabbed. Yeah. You know what? Oh, one day we'll hear the truth, eh, Jeff? You know, like I said, one day we'll know the truth, hopefully. But I do think that if it is Kaylee, that was his last chance. He knew it because of social media. He had been stalking the place already. He got to know exactly where people were. Just how happened that day. Ethan stayed the night, and things transpired how they transpired and stuff like that. I think Ethan could have been seen Zena on the floor without seeing Bryan.
Right. Ethan also could have woken up because of hearing Xana.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
We don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
We don't know. No, we do. Know.
I've always believed that you know, once he attacked Xana, she was not dead, and when he attacked Ethan, and I think he went back and finished Xana last, which is why I think we hear him say, "I'll help you."
Mm. Hey, was I can't remember. Was BK a trained kickboxer? I feel like I just don't remember that. That's all.
I don't know if I mean, I know he started working out. I don't know if he was a trained kickboxer.
Was BK? I guess I should write Bryan. Bryan Kohberger.
CJK. I don't think there's been no official update on anything about those IDs found in the glove.
No.
But we'd all like to know whose they were.
I'm not sure what Shelly's talking about by his stun gun.
Right. Ray, if he was, you know, I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying I don't know if it was confirmed that he was a trained kickboxer. But if you say he was, I believe you.
Bryan Kohberger, it has been noted that BCK was a boxer.
Bryan Christopher.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. Well, again, you don't know.
There was a picture in his yearbook. Push up.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is you got Mr. Freaking Psychotic there with a knife in his hand, and you know, it's kind of like I remember like my one ex-brother-in-law, right? Put alcohol in his system, and my ex-brother-in-law, you guys, was a fighter. Okay, anytime there was booze involved, he was a fighter. Anyways, him and Dion go to the store one day. You know, they come back, and Les comes back all beaten up and whatever, and Les is like a fighter, okay, total fighter. Les is literally laughing at what happened because he's drunk as a skunk. And Les was that person that if you look at me the wrong way, I'm going to fight you. Okay. So this Chinese dude comes along, looks at Les the wrong way. Les decides to pick a fight with him. Well, Chinese dude knew freaking Taekwondo or whatever, Kung Fu shit. And so next thing you know, this is how they're telling me the story, meaning my ex Dion at the time and Les, his brother. And he kept getting kicked to the ground, got back up, come at me again. Guy roundhouse kicks him again, right to the ground. Les gets back up, coming at me again. Till obviously Les got tired of getting his ass whooped. Now, Les usually does the ass whooping, right? You know what I mean? Like come across someone like that. So it's one of those things that depends. So if Mr. Coburger, Mr. Coburger, I'm not going to call him Mr. Coburger, POS is, which is BK. Well, I guess innocent, still proven guilty, whatever. Okay. But anyways, then, you know, obviously when you're in a state of mind, I'm sure you become like superhuman powers, like freaking Popeye and his spinach and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. That's my story. We all played. Yeah, we do, Jeff. Exactly. You know,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing. I said, yeah, exactly, Jeff. Like I said, I was just playing, you know, when I played out of my head, but I'm just giving my opinion as well. So.
Yeah, you look like you're ready to fall asleep right now. Yeah, we'll talk about it again. And Jeff, maybe Jeff, you'll want to join us, and we'll just simply have a conversation of our theories and how we think about it. You know, because it is very interesting. And this is where it's great when people have different thoughts and ideas. So, for instance, if I hear something you said and I haven't thought about it before, maybe then I start going, oh, hey, let me think about that, right? You know, and stuff like that. So I think it's very interesting how people in our heads that we, you know, have this little picture of kind of what happened. And we could be totally all wrong, right? But it's amazing how, you know, and please, I don't like anyone that's way off of the planet, stay off of the planet. We're just talking about things that would make sense, whether it's to do with substance and or SAing and stalking and again, Daniel, if you're in here, yeah, perfect, Jeff, I would love that. And Daniel, we were talking about the fact of the clothes that were moved in that one video, of that girls where she's saying that her undies are in the cup holder and her luggage, because I remember that when Lana played that on her channel there. And then when they started, because of that documentary that you sent me, thank you, by the way. And then I heard that and then it really, for me, I think it connected with some other people too, because I was like, that almost sounds like there's a pretty good chance that could have been Coburger in the area. Yeah. Jeff, just send me an email, because I know that you're buried in there somewhere on there, but just send me an email. Tell me some times that are available for you. Yeah. And that, but anyways, you guys, okay, I'm here. That incident was before Coburger moved there though.
Yeah, it was March.
Oh, so okay. So you talking about that incident that was before he moved there?
Yeah, it was in March of 2022.
Okay, and he didn't move there till like June. But he went out there in March.
You're in July.
But remember, he went out there in March?
But I mean, the incident, but we don't know the date. I mean, and that would be kind of odd if he was just visiting and he was like, oh.
Right. I mean, well, okay. Let me just put it that thing. I mean, obviously it's weird that
it is still strange though, especially with the proximity of the house. But
but right. I mean, if he didn't really live there, even though I heard that he was out there in March when he was looking for places or whatever, but then I'll probably push that one out of my mind to the side, to be honest, if that was the case, because I remember seeing the video. But I was thinking in my head that it happened more within that time frame of when he was there. So yeah, I'm not going to put too much credibility then if he wasn't really,
I think it was March. I believe it was.
Yeah, on there. But anyways, okay, you guys, Adam needs to get going. I still actually got time in me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you can stay on. I hit like a wall. I'm like all of a sudden just like.
No. That's what I was telling you. Like, I can do lives by myself just fine on there, but we'll head off. It's been 3 hours, but now I'm going to be bored because I slept before.
Go watch Stepha's live. Jeff, it's a crime and shame. Email.com.
To watch. What's your email again? Oh, really, Jeff? I mean, the email is
a shaming crime.
A shaming crime. Let me take down Daniel's comment there. A crime and shame. Good night for the second time. Hey, Tom. Thanks for the super chat. Tom, thanks for the love. Thanks for the song. And thanks for the super chat. And Cordy.
Oh, and Tom, you're welcome for the WD-40 opportunity.
Yeah, so welcome. What are you going to fix next week's, Tom? The next live. What are you going to fix? Make a list, Tom. Get back to us. Thank you, Sonny. Because
when that trim on his wall.
I feel like a smart person that's listening to our lives, that they could master cleaning, vacuuming, doing dishes, everything all in one live. I feel like you could. Cute outro, dang it. Or cue the out. No, shut up, Deb. Shut up. But no, I gotta thank Curdy still. Curdy, nice to see you back, dude. Like I said, I don't know where you've been hiding. Or if you've been hiding, but either way, thank you so much for that donation. Means honestly a lot. And I hope you're doing well. Daniel, you take care. Have a great night. Thanks again for joining us with Big Blue the other night. Love you guys. Again, if you haven't checked out the Drunk Turkey Show and you're watching this video, make sure you check them out. Love you, Jason. Anyways, so yeah, we'll queue up, and thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, I just hate to let you guys all go. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do though, Adam, right after this live and after we say goodbye to each other, I'm gonna go listen to that Mariah Carey and Michael Bolton song again.
Me too.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
I'm gonna think about Tom, and I'm gonna listen to Mariah Carey.
Yeah, and Isaiah, if you're watching this, make sure you leave a comment on this video to know that you're still okay and you're around too, because he's that person that usually only pops out once in a while, like Cordy does. But anyways, you guys take care. Here comes the outro. It's coming. It's coming at him.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Love you, Deb.
Oh. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.